Chapter 1090. Yun Sheng. An angry roar resounded through heaven and earth. Yen Huang was killed. D-Man Du did not care that he had killed Lan Hao and Bai Rong. Yen Huang was the son of Di Zun. The crux of the matter was that venerable sovereigns were in the three realms. If he wasn't in the three realms, he wouldn't be so angry and terrified. But venerable Larch, Yen Ji was here. Before Sovereign Yen Hao left, he asked him to protect his son. Now, Yen Huang was killed in front of him. Yun Sheng, you deserve to die. You're dead. No one can save you. The ground was filled with madness. Di Zun was coming back. He had said that he was coming back. But Di Zun probably didn't expect that Yen Huang would be killed. Yen Huang and Lin Lin had joined hands with so many experts, but they were killed when he was about to arrive. No, when he had already arrived. D-Man was terrified. He had failed to protect Yen Huang. This time, even if Di Zun did not act up, he was afraid that Di Zun would not have a good impression of him. Kill. He wanted to kill Yun Sheng before his transformation was complete. Father, let's kill this beast together. Fong Ping let out a roar too. An energy longsword condensed in his hand, and he slashed through the air in an instant. Space was torn apart. If you dare kill Sister Rong, I'll skin you. Fong Ping let out another furious roar. It was the bloody roar. With this roar, perfected Lord Earthflat, who had yet to discover anything in the distance, suddenly froze. Who died? He did not pay much attention to these things earlier. He was attracted by the Tao that Fong Ping had just presented. After that, he found out that Yen Huang had been killed. Now, who was Sister Rong that Yunxing mentioned? Rong, our perfected Lord Earthflat's expression changed. His daughter was killed. His psychic power swept over in an instant, and in the next moment, he saw traces of his daughter's qi. Earthmanes. Perfected Lord Di Ping went crazy. D-Man had actually killed his daughter. On the other side, true immortal Di Qi's face also flickered with pain and anger. How could Lan Hao have been killed? D-Man's palm was very powerful, but it was targeted at Yun Sheng. His son was right beside him. Even if he was no match for D-Man, if he ran away, D-Man wouldn't chase after him. But now, the truth was that his son was dead. His son, who had the highest chance of becoming a true god, had been killed. Ground's face was gloomy. He sensed that something was amiss, but even if he didn't have time to think about it. Perhaps someone had secretly made a move. Lightning? He didn't know. But no matter what, his son had been killed by D-Man. If he could let this go, then wouldn't he, the descendant of Di Qi, be able to kill as he wished in the future? Di Qi realized that there might be an expert who interfered in the dark, causing D-Man to kill his son by mistake, but he couldn't care less. Earthmanes. At this moment, the three true god experts were enraged, and their speed increased. Di Qi was even faster than before, almost reaching the battlefield in the blink of an eye. On the other side, D-Man and Fong Ping exchanged a few blows. Even though Fong Ping was constantly sent flying backward, his golden body cracked, and he was wrapped in the void cracks, he was still entangled with his opponent. Father, kill him! Fong Ping roared furiously, coughing up blood continuously, but he still managed to block his opponent's path of retreat. D-Man was leaving. At this moment, he also realized what had happened. He had just killed the most outstanding descendant of Ground Strange and Ground Flat with a single palm strike. Someone was plotting against him. Who? Thunder? The only person he could think of was Thunder. Right now, the only one in Pantheon who had the ability to do this under his nose was Thunder. But he could not say it. If he said it, he had even offended Thunder. Those two people had indeed died in his hands. He had already offended so many true gods. If he offended Thunder, he would not be able to leave alive today. Get lost. He had no intention of killing Fang Ping. He wanted to leave. While bombarding Fang Ping furiously, D-Man shouted, "The Venerable Emperor is about to return. Ground strange, ground flat, it was just a misunderstanding. I had no intention of killing them. You know it yourself." He did not mention names, but he also told them that he had no intention of killing them, and he would not kill them now. Killing the people of the Water Vein was bad enough, but he had also offended Ground Strange and Ground Flat. He was as stupid as a cucumber. Ground Strange and Ground Flat knew what was going on, but Ground Strange could not hide his anger. He said coldly, "Earthman, I don't care what happened between you and the Water Vein. You killed Lon Hao. You have to give me an explanation today. Don't think I'll let you go." It was impossible to let a true god pay with his life. He did not want to kill D-Man because Guardian Huo might really return. He did not want to be useless. At this moment, Fang Ping roared again. "Father, even if the Venerable Emperor returns, we have to kill him. Otherwise, the Yun family will be in danger." One less peak meant one less threat. Even if Guardian Huo really returned, the two peak masters were not completely helpless. If they could not win, they had a greater chance of escaping. Di Fei was also a decisive person. At the peak level, it was fine if it did not concern them, but it concerned his life. Even if he had guessed that Guardian Huo might return, Di Fei had already made up his mind. Kill. Di Fei had arrived. As soon as he arrived, he did not say a word. Under everyone's surprised gaze, a divine weapon glowing with a dark light appeared. A true divine weapon. It was not a branch of skywood, but a divine weapon forged from the demon core of a monster that looked like a big fish. The reason why they knew it was because as soon as the divine weapon appeared, a huge black fish covered the heavens and the earth. It bared its sharp teeth and instantly bit down on D-Man. This was the peak monster that the Heavenly Cloud Emperor had killed in the past, a monster from the Forbidden Sea. The Heavenly Cloud Emperor had no use for it, but Di Fei was his disciple. Increasing the strength of his disciple was also increasing the strength of the Water Vein. When a desperate realm expert wore a peak divine weapon, his combat strength would also be increased. The black fish bit down, avoided Fang Ping, and went straight for D-Man's head. Crack! D-Man dodged the attack by a hair's breadth, biting a hole in the void. D-Man evaded Di Fei's attack, but Fang Ping kept looking for an opportunity. He was secretly ruthless. He also shattered the void with one slash of his sword. Countless cracks scraped across D-Man's body, leaving streaks of bloody scars, blood gushing out. Damn it! D-Man was furious. He glanced at Fang Ping with hatred and flew backward, escaping from this place. Fang Ping bombarded the void again and shouted, "Masters Di Qi and Di Ping, stop him. You don't have to kill him. My father and I will kill him. Don't let him leave." After shouting, he shouted again, "Lord Guardian, if you are willing to fight for us, we will follow your lead." As soon as these words were said, the eyes of Thunder, who followed, flickered again. Di Fei did not say anything. His son had become a true god. At this time, killing D-Man was the priority. As for the Guardian's protection, if Guardian Huo was really here, of course, it would be better to find an Emperor-level protection. Di Fei had already arrived. No matter what Fang Ping said, this time his sword slashed at the void. No strange fish appeared, but the void in front of D-Man was directly cut open. He wanted to join forces with Fang Ping to stop D-Man and kill him. Not only that, Di Fei knew what these powerhouses were thinking. He shouted, "The water and fire veins will not rest until one of us is dead. Whoever stops us today will be the enemy of the Water Vein. We have one emperor and 5 gods. Kill us all first." Before the Water Vein, there was one emperor and 4 gods. The heavenly cloud emperor and 3 true gods had all gone to the celestial cemetery, leaving him alone to guard. But now there was another true god. The water vein's strength should not be underestimated. It was comparable to 2 emperor-level powerhouses. As soon as these words were said, the other true god's eyes flickered. This was really not good to intervene. The father and son of the Yun family were now determined to kill, but here at the fire vein, the venerable emperor might be there. It would not be a good thing to help anyone. They might even get into trouble. Everyone looked on coldly from the sidelines. At this time, Di Ping looked at Di Qi and said telepathically, "Di Qi, you're not doing anything?" Di Qi frowned and did not reply. Di Ping was also a decisive person. Di Qi could not be relied on. Now that the situation was not stable, he had to weigh many things. His daughter was killed. He was very angry, but he also knew that it would be difficult to get back at them. The Yun family had 2 true gods. Di Ping waited. If he killed Di Man, not only could he take revenge, but he could also establish his power. The only thing he needed to guard against was the emperor's revenge. 3 true gods were no match for an emperor. Even if they could fight, they had to be careful of falling. 5. Or with powerhouses like Di Qi joining in, 4 would be enough. Di Jia was under the sect leader. Di Qi was now afraid. Dian was under guardian Feng. Di Man was being surrounded. Other than him, Di Fei and Di Xing, there were still 2 true lords. One was under guardian Lei, and the other was under the 3 great sect protectors. It was just that the 3 great sect protectors were not here now. Looking at the last person, Di Ping quickly said, "Di Gu, the few of us, together with Di Qi, will form a force. With Di Xing, we won't be weaker than anyone. You and I both know what the protectors want. Do you really want to see them reap all the benefits while we remain at the true God realm for the rest of our lives?" At this moment, Di Ping started to pull in allies. He felt that he could fight for it. He originally wanted his daughter to become a true god, but now that she was killed, he considered many things. Working with the Yun father and son was better than working with emperors. These protectors would eat people up without spitting out the bones. If they really worked together, he would have nothing to do in the end. Even Di Jia and Di Qi were not reliable because their strength was close to that of emperors. On the other hand, the few of them had similar strength, so it was easier for them to work together. In the crowd, the eyes of a true god flashed, but he did not speak. Did no one know why Lei Tian attacked the Earth King Hall? They knew, but the others did not dare to participate, afraid of being punished. However, Lei Tian was the first to do it. They had an excuse to stop Lei Tian, so they did not have to worry. Would the sect master kill all the participants when he returned, once they became emperors? Even if the divine sect could not tolerate them, they could still go out and set up their own sect. This was probably what the few emperors were thinking. Looking at the 3 true gods fighting in front of them, the powerhouse under the 3 protectors, true Lord Di Gu, said, "We can work together, but I won't participate in this battle. Only if you survive will you be qualified to talk about cooperation. Otherwise," as he spoke, an unforeseen event happened. At this moment, Fang Ping suddenly retreated, breaking through the air. "Will you hand over the longevity spring, or will you fight to the end?" Not far away, in a large hall with flashing restrictions. True Lord Di Xing, who had not come out, changed his expression slightly. He had used the excuse of repairing the restrictions to prevent the longevity spring's spiritual energy from leaking. He had been staying underground, pretending that he did not have time to care about those battles. He had thought that no one would know, but who knew that Yun Sheng would know? The ancient spring in the longevity spring had the magical effect of extending lifespans. Now, his lifespan was about to run out, and so were the venerable emperors. Not only them, but even some people who had not run out of lifespan had been watching this place. This time, he had taken advantage of his position, and everyone's attention was on the Earth King Hall to secretly collect the ancient spring that had not appeared for thousands of years. But now, Di Xing's eyes flickered. He wanted to kill them. However, Yun Sheng and Di Fei were not weak. Moreover, they wanted to kill a true god. At the last moment, the other party roared. How could it be stopped so easily? What do you want? Di Xing was furious. This guy had become a true god, but he dared to threaten him. Kildy man, hurry up. Let's kill him together. Even if Yen Ji comes, we don't have to be afraid. Di Xing gritted his teeth. If he killed Yen Ji's people, Yen Ji would still be in the three realms. Wouldn't he be tied to the Yun father and son? Either we give up the longevity spring, or we don't attack. I'll just wait for a while. I'll tell Venerable Emperor Thunder later. Yun Sheng. Di Xing was furious. Then he gritted his teeth and transmitted his voice. Even if the three of us join forces, we are no match for Yen Ji. Di Qi and Di Ping will attack. Even if they don't, will the three venerable emperors help if we join Thunder together? Hearing this, Di Xing relaxed slightly. That was true. The three venerable emperors and Thunder was facing trouble with Earth Hero. They would take them in. The longevity spring, he did not have much lifespan left. He did not know if he could seize the opportunity to advance in the upcoming great changes. Also, no one knew how long this chaos would last. In that case, he would live one more day. The longer he lived, the greater the chance. Okay, the next moment, to the surprise of everyone in Thunder, Venerable Di Xing, who had not attacked, rushed out of the main hall and went straight to D-Man. He attacked with a killing move, a punch toward the void, a surprise attack. Boom! D-Man, who was resisting Di Fei and Di Ping, did not expect that Di Xing, who had nothing to do with them, would attack. He was guarding against Di Qi and Di Ping, but he was not guarding against Di Xing. This time, his right arm was blown off in an instant. Kill him while he was down. Fang Ping and Di Fei were also powerhouses. How could they miss this opportunity? Both of them held true divine longswords, one on the left and the other on the right, blocking each other's escape route. They roared at the same time. Venerable D-Man's neck was cut off. Fang Ping's sword even penetrated his golden body and pierced his heart. In the blink of an eye, D-Man was seriously injured. Three experts teamed up. One must know that even someone at the peak of the human world, who was known to be the most proficient in battle, would be powerless against three experts of the same level. D-Man was still a little weaker than the bravery of the best fighter. At this moment, among the opponents, there was Di Fei, who was stronger than him. How could he be an opponent? At this time, he felt the crisis of death. Di Xing. How dare you? Venerable Di is coming back. Fang Ping shouted coldly. Yen Ji can kill 5 true gods. If he can't, then die. Before he finished speaking, Fang Ping's longsword took the initiative to attack. He controlled the longsword, emptied his hands, and attacked the opponent with his bare fists. D-Man roared again and again. At this time, in the crowd, Di Ping gritted his teeth. Fight! If he did not participate now, when would he participate? Di Xing had joined them. If he wanted to cooperate with them and get a share of the pie, he could not do it without a pledge of allegiance. As for Yen Ji, they were not afraid if they joined forces. Moreover, D-Man took the initiative to kill his daughter. It was pardonable for him to kill him. Who dared to say no? If Yen Ji dared to attack him, he dared to destroy his entire clan. The rules were broken. From now on, the strong would kill the weak. Who would have any scruples? Give me back my daughter's life. Di Ping roared angrily and attacked with his saber. Di Ping's face was full of despair. 4 true gods. He was not a near-emperor powerhouse. Even a near-emperor powerhouse, like the previous Battle King, would be beaten miserably if he fought 1 against 4. Venerable Di, save me! D-Man roared. He was calling for Yan Ji. Not only that, but he also looked at Thunder and Di Jia, roaring, Save me! Save me! I am willing to surrender. Save him, or fight to the death with the 4 of us. Fang Ping roared. His chi was bursting, and he had an attitude of never giving up. Di Fei and the others also knew that they could not hesitate now. They all unleashed their auras to the extreme. Should they save D-Man, or not? Thunder's eyes flickered. If it was only the father and son, he might have attacked. But now 4. Not only that, Di Chi was ready to make a move because he saw an opportunity. Among the 5 true gods, he was the strongest. If he attacked now, the 5 of them would naturally be won. Even if they offended Yanji, so what? Would Yanji fight to the death with them? For a dead person? If he could seize the opportunity this time, he could also become an emperor. By then, he would not be afraid of Yanji. Attack! Di Chi made a decision and snorted coldly. You killed my son! How dare you? If Guardian Hu knew, he would not let you do whatever you want. As soon as he finished speaking, this near-emperor powerhouse attacked. D-Man was completely desperate. At the same time, more than 3,000 li away, a void shook heaven and earth, and roared, How dare you do this? Stop now. Venerable D-Man was overjoyed. Di Chi cursed in his heart, but he had made a decision. At this point, should he still retreat? Kill. D-Man, who was originally besieged by the 4 of them, now faced with Di Chi's attack. Almost instantly his limbs were torn off, and his head exploded. Venerable D, save me! In the distance, the fiery red figure roared. Thunder! You have to watch them kill the master gods. Thunder Venerable D frowned slightly and said slowly, Everyone, stop for now, we can talk. Although he said so, he quietly took a small step back. Now, it was in his interest. 5 true gods, and Yanji faced off. D-Man was killed, weakening Yanji's strength. Now he could not wait for Dark Earth and Di Chi to face off, so that he could stay out of it. With Thunder's attitude, everyone knew what he was thinking. Fang Ping and the others ignored him. Kill! The 5 of them roared at the same time, unleashing their big moves at the same time. 5 of them joined forces to kill 1 person, and it was not the most powerful kind. How could they not die? The void was blown up. True Lord D-Man was also blown up. The mentality shadow quickly solidified, but it was wishful thinking to escape in front of so many people. Their mentality erupted at the same time like a knife, instantly cutting the mentality shadow into pieces. Not only that, true Lord Di Chi's hand covered the sky, covering the void, and squeezing. A desperate scream was heard. Rumble! The sky fell, and the earth cracked. In the void, a Tao was broken. A true god had been killed inside the god court. This was the first time in many years that a god master had been killed inside the god court. Di Chi and the others all had complicated expressions. In the distance, the fiery red shadow's chi activity exploded, crushing countless people and destroying many cities along the way. His voice was like a bell. He shouted coldly, You are audacious, killing a master god, treating God Palace as nothing. While he was still shouting, Fang Ping, who had already killed D-Man, quickly transmitted his voice. Lord Thunder, let's join forces to kill Yanji and eliminate the enemy. We all know what you are thinking. Emperor Level is your biggest trouble. We are willing to be your vanguard and help you eliminate the enemy. The light in Thunder's eyes pierced through the void. Kill Yanji? 5 true gods, plus the one under his command, 6 true gods, and himself. Kill Yanji? At this moment, Thunder Venerable Dichi almost agreed. It was too tempting. Emperor level, that was his biggest opponent. Chapter 1091. Fang Ping was looking forward to it. Agree. If they killed Yan Ji, the 5 real gods on their side would be able to dominate the cult. Now that he had entered the cult and become its leader, that was exciting. Of course, it was just wishful thinking. Even if Yan Ji died, there were still 2 emperors. At this moment, although Yan Ji was thousands of miles away, Fang Ping was not afraid at all. What was there to be afraid of? Emperors were the public enemy. While waiting for the Thunder Emperor's reply, Fang Ping said indignantly, "Thank you, uncles, for your help. It's one thing for D-Man to attack me. The fire and water veins have always been at odds with each other, but he killed Brother Lan and little sister Rong." The glint in Fang Ping's eyes pierced through the void. He gritted his teeth. Perfected Lord Earthflat's expression was gloomy, but he did not say anything. Yun Sheng had a good relationship with his daughter. They had known each other for many years. Previously, he had also thought of a marriage alliance. But now that his daughter was dead, it was all for naught. Looking at the fiery red shadow in the distance, Supreme Dipping said in a low voice, "Yan Ji is coming." Fang Ping looked at Di Fei, his face full of anger, his cheeks clenched tight. "Father, now that things have come to this, we have no way out, even if Yan Ji came. So what? Why not kill him today? Kill him too. I am not afraid of death. If there is really danger, I am willing to fight to the death. Uncles, if you have the chance, please kill him." The void trembled. The few true gods all had shocked looks on their faces. What great boldness! Yun Sheng, who had just proven his Tao, was going to slaughter a Dharch today. Di Fei was also indescribably shocked. Was this his own son? Confirming his Tao in battle, reaching the 8th level of the Golden Body realm. Now, he even dared to fight a Dharch, and even threatened to slaughter a Dharch. This was far beyond his expectations. Even though he was shocked, Di Fei quickly said, "It's too dangerous. Yan Ji might not dare to attack. If we join hands, he won't dare to act rashly. But if he takes the initiative to fight, Yan Ji will have to fight. Sheng, you have just broken through. You should take your time to think about it." He was sure that Yan Ji would not dare to take action at this time. Therefore, he was not ready to fight against Venerable Sovereign. The 5 true gods were not weak, but once one of them was killed, the rest would easily scatter. This was the truth. His son had just broken through. At this time, he should take his time to stabilize his realm and rope in 1 or 2 true gods. Only then would he be able to fight for greater benefits. Making a move now would only benefit Thunder and the others. Fang Ping cursed in his heart. Gutless. What was there to be afraid of? Just kill emperors. Forget it. I won't count on you. Fang Ping transmitted his voice to true Lord Dark Earth again. These true Lord powerhouses were all recorded. He had also seen them in the intelligence reports. However, there was very little information about true Lord Dark Earth. After all, she was one of Heaven Inquisition Tower's own people. Fang Ping did not care. He transmitted his voice. "True Lord Dark Earth, how about joining forces? Together with Lord Thunder, we will kill Yan Ji today. At that time, we are willing to serve Lord Feng Yun." True Lord Dark Earth glanced at him. The divine court was about to descend into chaos. All kinds of demons and ghosts had appeared. What guts! He really wanted to kill a Dharch. At this moment, Fang Ping was sending voice transmissions to many parties. He would not lose out if he tried. If he succeeded, it would not be a bad idea to kill an emperor level. Look, there were now 3 emperors and 8 true gods. Since he was already here, the fewer the better. When King Kuan returned, his lair would be gone. How good would that be? How exciting! Fang Ping communicated quickly. At this moment, Skywood, who was in the crystal plate on his body, was a little dumbfounded. This human king, in front of him, was he really trustworthy? He pretended to be the real deal. He was sure that this human king was definitely not Yun Sheng, even if Fang Ping did not introduce himself. However, since this person was a human king, he could not be true Lord Earthfly's son. What about now? He actually started a war in Heavenly Court. Maybe there would be a war of emperors next, after killing a true god and killing a few descendants of emperors. Heavenly Court had been peaceful for so many years. In the blink of an eye, it was in chaos. What a monster! Skywood sighed in his heart. This kind of person was very scary. He had infiltrated your inner circle and become one of your people. He was even closer to you than you were. He had started to take the initiative. Who else would be scary if not this kind of person? King Kuan, Skywood thought about this. King Kuan's avatar wanted to refine him and make him his avatar. He wanted to fuse with him and prove his physique's limit. How could he let him do as he wished? The key to breaking the deadlock lies with this person. Skywood was looking forward to it, but he was also a little nervous. He hoped that his main body could feel his thoughts. Keep King Kuan's avatar occupied. Don't let King Kuan interfere. Otherwise, Heavenly Court would not be in chaos. Once King Kuan's avatar appeared, even if his strength was only at emperor level, these Heavenly Court powerhouses would instantly become obedient and would not dare to cause trouble anymore. Just as Skywood's avatar was thinking about this, Skywood Forest, 10,000 zhang above. The Tao had collapsed. They were all in this small world. Both the man and the tree were powerhouses. Naturally, they could sense it. Moreover, Yan Zhi's wrath was monstrous, and his emperor-level aura shook the sky. It was even easier to sense it. King Kuan was originally still confronting Skywood, but now he frowned slightly. A true god was dead. He had died near Divine City. Bastard! King Kuan cursed in his heart. Of course, he knew that his subordinates had their own thoughts. But he did not care. He was worried that if they were united, it would be difficult to control them. As a king, he hoped that his subordinates would not quarrel, but he also had to prevent them from being united. If they were united, his position as a king would be threatened. But now, these people were not going to conquer the three realms. Instead, they were fighting among themselves. This made him so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. Beside him, Skywood's eyes flickered. He chuckled and said, "Your Highness, why don't you go back and appease the gods?" He actually did not think that King Kuan would leave. If he left, he would have a chance to escape. King Kuan had spent 8,000 years to refine him. He was about to succeed, so how could he leave? Sure enough, King Kuan no longer cared about what happened over there. It was just a true god who died. He had seen this many times over the years. It was just that he was angry that a true god had died in Heavenly Court this time. At this moment, he calmed down and said indifferently, "Skywood, don't struggle futilely, even if they are all dead. So what? This king is strong, not his faction. Only by proving one's Tao and becoming an emperor or reaching the extreme Tao would one have hope of suppressing the three realms and becoming a supreme powerhouse. As for the factions under him, once he was strong, he would have everything. Recruiting these people over the years was just to make it more convenient for him to do things." Skywood smiled, but in his heart, he was wondering if this change had anything to do with the person who had left before. If the avatar did not return, he would not know anything. He would wait a little longer. Venerable Thunder Sovereign did not reply. At this moment, Yan Zhi was getting closer and closer. He was tearing through the void and hurrying on his way. The next moment, A shadow that was as hot as the sun descended. Its might shook the heavens, and the void was burning. The longevity town completely disappeared. In the great battle of the extreme Tao, those who could run had all fled. None of those rank 8s or rank 9s dared to stay. At this moment, there was only the longevity spring here, and only these desperation realms and emperors. In the distance, a transparent light shield rose above the God City. That was the God City's defense system. Without it, the weak people in the God City would be shocked to death even if they were hundreds of miles away. Di Qi, Di Fei, in the void, Yanji's eyes were like the sun. Divine light pierced through the void, and cracks surrounded him. This emperor has already stopped them. How dare you kill D-Man? How dare you act so recklessly? What should you do? What should I do? This angry roar resounded in all directions, and the sound waves shook. Within 1,000 miles, except for the God City, which was protected by the Great Formation, countless people exploded at this moment. The God City was the core, and there were many small cities around it. But today, there was a river of blood. Thunder frowned slightly and said, "Yan Ji, restrain yourself." Yan Ji had killed so many people. He was too domineering. Even if it was him, he felt a little displeased. Although he had his own plans and even thought of betraying the Divine Palace, he did not betray them now. These were all people of the Divine Palace. He was very unhappy that so many people had been killed at once. He was unhappy, and so was Yan Ji. He had told Thunder in advance that he owed him a favor, but Thunder just watched D-Man being killed. Just wait. Yan Ji suddenly said coldly, "Where is Yan Huang?" He came late, and only sensed that these people had surrounded D-Man. Where was Yan Huang? At this moment, everyone seemed to remember that Yan Huang had been killed. This was Yan Ji's son, Ground Qi, and the others also had a headache. They had forgotten about this and only thought about killing D-Man. Although D-Man was a true god, he was not Yan Ji's son. What could Yan Ji do? But his son had been killed. It was silent everywhere. No one answered. Yan Ji's aura burst to the extreme. Even Fong Ping felt the pressure. The 5 people also released their auras to resist this pressure. He stretched out his hand and grabbed something from the ground that had been cracked by the attack just now. Remains. Anyway, it was a rank 9, and there were some bones left. When he saw the remains in his hand, Yanji immediately looked at Fong Ping and said in a cold voice, "Yun Sheng, how dare you kill my son?" He sensed it on the bones. There was the aura left by Fong Ping. His son was killed by Yun Sheng. Fong Ping held his head high and said coldly, "Yan Huang killed me, so I killed him. Why can't I?" "Protector, you don't have to pretend that you don't know. You have been hiding in the dark, and I'm afraid you have a plan. Today you show up, and I'm afraid you have already decided to kill Yun Sheng, and even my father. Murderers deserve to die. You have a sharp tongue." Yanji shouted in a low voice. A new true god dared to talk to Venerable Emperor like this. He was courting death. As he spoke, the giant palm pierced through the void and appeared above Fong Ping's head in an instant. Fong Ping shouted, and Di Fei also roared. The 2 of them attacked the giant palm above Fong Ping's head together. Crack! The giant palm cracked, but it did not break. Continue to press down. The power of an emperor level was obvious. At this moment, Di Qi, Di Ping, and Di Xing joined forces, shouted, and attacked. Bang! The giant palm was blasted by the energy. Below, Fong Ping staggered, but he smiled and said, "Master is so domineering. Do you want to break us one by one and kill us one by one?" As soon as he said this, Yan Ji stopped. Yan Ji just wanted to say that he only wanted to kill the father and son of the Yun family, But this sentence broke them one by one. If he said this again, it would be strange if Di Qi and the others believed him. Yan Ji took a deep look at Fang Ping. Di Fei had a good son, but this was an enemy. He had not returned for a few days, but this father and son had actually roped in 3 true gods and killed Di Man together. This was beyond his expectation. 5 true gods. Di Qi was close to the emperor realm. Next to him, there was thunder. Yan Ji was alone. For a moment, Yan Ji was a little regretful. He should not have hidden. With him, these true gods should be able to rope in 1 or 2 of them. With Di Man, he would not be so passive. He would not give Yun Sheng a chance to prove his Tao. At this moment, Fang Ping transmitted his voice to Thunder again. Master, do you really not consider joining forces? If you don't want to, I'm afraid, Protector, Yan Ji will not fight with us to the death. When Yan Ji returns, do you really have a chance to get everything you want? Thunder's eyes flickered, but he was still a little hesitant. After thinking for a while, he suddenly transmitted his voice. We can join forces, but kill Earthly Hero first. Seal the void and kill Earthly Hero with 1 strike. Then I will join forces with you to kill Yan Ji. He alone had no hope of killing Earthly Hero at once. He had to be careful that this guy returned to the Divine Court Army and used the joint attack method to contact the Divine Court Army powerhouses. In that case, Earthly Hero could fight Venerable Emperor. It was better to kill Earthly Hero first. As for besides, it was best to let Yun Sheng and his group fight with Yan Ji to the end. In the end, it was hard to say who would benefit. Fang Ping almost cried from laughing. How did you know that I wanted to kill more? Killing Earthly Hero was a good thing. Of course. Fang Ping still kept silent for 3 seconds and transmitted his voice. Okay. The 2 transmitted their voices, their mentality fluctuating. At this moment, Yan Ji's face changed slightly. He was a little vigilant. What did Thunder want to do? Both sides ignored him. Fang Ping quickly transmitted his voice to Di Fei and the others, and then said earnestly, kill Earthly Hero and join forces with Venerable Emperor Thunder to kill Yan Ji. In this way, the Divine Court Army will be in a tripartite balance. Venerable Emperor Thunder, Venerable Emperor Fengyun, our side. And today, the changes in the world, the powerhouses entered the celestial cemetery. This is also our opportunity. Usually, we won't have such an opportunity. We don't know when the celestial cemetery will open. Once the powerhouses return, when the future changes, we true gods will be cannon fodder. When Venerable Emperor, Saint, and Heavenly King appear, there will be no opportunity for us. Di Qi's voice was a little strange. Nephew, you are right, but Protector Thunder can't be trusted. Once he takes action, Protector Thunder and Protector Fengyun may target us and kill us first. Not only Protector Fengyun, but also now they had to be careful of the 2 Emperor-level powerhouses joining forces to kill them. This group of people was a bunch of T-stirrers. Emperor-level powerhouses are more threatening, Fang Ping analyzed. Compared with Emperor-level powerhouses, we are in less danger. Without the help of Venerable Emperor, even if we can defeat Venerable Emperors, it will be difficult to kill them. Instead, Venerable Emperors may die in the hands of Venerable Emperors. They transmitted their voices very quickly. It seemed that they had discussed for a while, but it happened in the blink of an eye. Soon, they came to a decision. Yan Ji must die. If Yan Ji did not die, the 5 of them had to stay together, or they would be killed by this Venerable Emperor. If they killed Yan Ji, most of the danger would be eliminated. As for killing Di Qi, if 6 true gods and 1 Emperor-level powerhouse joined forces to attack him, there was a good chance that they could kill him directly. Even if he did not die, he would not be able to fight anymore. With a decision, they slowly retreated, approaching venerable Emperor Thunder. Now, Yanji's face changed. Not far away, Di Qi also became vigilant. He was not afraid that they would join forces to kill him, but he felt that when the battle between venerable emperors broke out, he had to avoid being involved. He really did not expect that these people would kill him first. The enemy was still here. Yanji should be the target of both sides. Although he and Thunder were not on good terms, they had not fought yet, right? Do it. At this moment, a wave of mind power spread out. Everyone's chi exploded to the limit, which was the preparation for a big move. Without saying anything, Yanji tore the void and fled. A venerable emperor and 6 true gods, he had to avoid them. As soon as he tore the void to escape, the next moment, Di Qi's incredulous roar came. Boom! The sky broke. At this moment, the sky really broke. The joint attack of so many experts was comparable to the full strength of 2 emperor-level experts. After all, Di Qi was not a real emperor-level expert, only close to it. How could he resist it? The powerful golden body almost instantly shattered along with the void. Nearby, Supreme Dark Earth fled quickly, without looking back. Crazy. They were all crazy. Di Qi was on the sect master's side, and these madmen did not hesitate to attack. If Lord Fengyan did not return, something big might happen. He also had to be careful, lest he was killed. He ran very fast, but Earthly Hero wasn't so lucky. His golden body was destroyed by the attack without any mishap. As soon as the mind power gathered, 7 powerful attacks appeared again. With a ripping sound, the mind power was torn to pieces. Rumble! Heaven and earth roared, the great way broke, and a near emperor-level expert died easily. At this moment, even though this was a fragment of the heaven realm, it reflected some red. Blood clouds gathered. A near emperor-level expert died. Just like that. The 7 people did not hesitate. Seeing the great way break, they quickly chased in the direction where Yanji disappeared. Di Ping did not forget to shout, "Di Gu together!" The real god he had roped in was the only real god who did not belong to any sect, so he did not hesitate at all. He chose a side. If he did not choose a side, he was afraid of death. At least true monarch Dark Earth had a backer, Empyrean Wind Cloud, but he did not. D-Man died, Di Qi died, and now these people went to chase Yanji. Today, the spiritual court would be clear. Who would live and who would die? Who would win and who would lose? At least now it seemed that Yanji was in danger. If Taoist Fengyan did not come back now, he would not dare to come back. Things happened too fast. Who would have thought that the fight between a group of level 9 would turn into the death of 2 real gods in the blink of an eye? And now they were chasing an emperor-level expert. Di Gu did not dare to hesitate and immediately followed. 1 emperor and 7 gods. If Yanji could not escape, he would die. In the distance, Yanji's angry roar spread throughout the world. Thunder, Di Qi, you killed Di Qi and betrayed the divine sect. When the sect master returns, you will all die. Thunder shouted coldly, Yanji, you are so ambitious. You killed Di Qi and put the blame on me. Do you think your plot can succeed? Hearing this, Yanji did not say anything. At this point, who would be the winner? How Di Qi died. The sect master would tell them when he returned. Now, who had the guts to avenge Di Qi? Rumble! In front, the void exploded. Thunder's speed was really fast. Yanji was not as fast as him, and soon Thunder caught up with him. In the blink of an eye, the 2 of them came out of the void, and the surrounding world shattered. Below, a city was instantly obliterated. A great battle broke out. Thunder joined forces with 7 real gods to attack Yanji. In the void, 9 dazzling suns appeared. 9 experts broke out in a battle of life and death. In the fake sky grave, King Kuan suddenly stopped attacking. His eyes were full of anger, and the nearby void shattered. He was angry. He was really angry. Di Chi was killed. Not only had Earthen Man died, but Earthen Hero had also been killed. What was going on outside? The spiritual court was so powerful. Even if he took away a large number of experts, the rest were enough to shock the three realms and even unify them. But now, for divine masters were dead. The key was that Di Chi was equivalent to the commander of his guards. He would almost never leave the spiritual court. In other words, the spiritual court was in chaos. It was very likely that Di Chi was killed in the spiritual court. Bastard! No matter how calm King Kuan was, he could not remain calm at this moment. He was furious, and his aura was extremely powerful. The eyes of the heavenly kings not far away flickered. What was going on? His subordinates were killed by King Marshall again. Recently, King Marshall had been killing people everywhere. Previously, a few from the divine sect were killed. Could it be that someone else was killed? He did not sense it. Seeing this, Heavenly King Subduing chuckled and said, "Hong Kuan, could it be that the nest has been raided? The divine masters and guardians left behind have been killed." His gloating was obvious. It did not seem to be what happened in the fake sky grave. In that case, it was very likely that something happened in the outside world. Something must have happened to a true god. A true god left a wisp of mentality. If it shattered, it would be known. As for the rank, 9, who knew if they were dead or alive, could it be that a true god of the divine sect had fallen? Could it be that Kid Fong Ping did it? The heavenly king, subduing thought. He always felt that if someone from the divine sect died, it might be Fong Ping's doing. Of course, he did not think that much. It was not easy to kill a true god. He did not expect that not long after he came in, the true gods that Fong Ping killed outside were more than those who died in the fake sky grave. For from the divine sect, and 4 from the 3 major territories had died. It had not been long, and 8 true gods had died. At this moment, Fong Ping had even sneaked into the divine sect and was hunting down an emperor. On the spirit palace's side, there were only more than 10 true gods who had died. Not a single emperor level had died. King Kuan's face was livid, but he did not say anything. He was truly enraged, for true gods were dead, and the commander of the divine court army was dead. Had these people completely rebelled? Thunder? Wind and cloud? Scorching? Who did it? In his opinion, it was only these few people. When I go out, you'll have a good time. King Kuan was furious. At this moment, the array was about to be broken, and he did not mention leaving. When the others saw this, they all had their own thoughts. It seemed that something had really happened to the divine sect in the outside world. Interesting. It was good that they were at a loss. The divine sect was too powerful. A heavenly king, 3 saints, several emperor levels, and dozens of true gods. Even a heavenly king would be afraid of such a force. Seeing that he did not speak, King Kuan smiled and said, "I hope that when we go out, we can see that the divine sect has a new leader. That would be a great event." Could it be the people from the overseas immortal islands? When these words came out, everyone was stunned. Not to mention, it was really possible. The forces left by the overseas immortal islands were still relatively strong. There were many true gods. If they really found the divine sect, it might be possible. King Kuan did not say anything and glanced at King Sun. The overseas immortal islands had a lot to do with this guy. King Sun could not be bothered with him. Matters of the outside world could be discussed when they went out. At this moment, there was no time to bother with King Kuan. The array was about to be broken. Everyone was looking forward to it, and also prepared for the treasure hunt. P.S. Recommend a book. I Repair Cultural Relics for the Country by 13 Idlers. It's quite an interesting urban novel. Everyone can read it. Chapter 1092. Saint Fire Burns the Heavens. A furious roar echoed throughout the divine court. While King Kuan and the others were breaking the formation, Yanji, the emperor in the divine palace, also showed the power of the emperor realm. A fiery red sun appeared in the divine court. At this moment, the void was being burned, and the energy spread out for 100 miles. Within 100 miles, the sound of explosions rang out continuously. Sovereign Flamingo's entire body emitted a fiery light, roasting everyone. Fang Ping's expression changed drastically. The true divine weapon in his hand was burning. It was not the divine weapon that was burning, but the energy that was burning. At this moment, facing the siege of so many experts, Yanji burst out a powerful force, burning energy, burning the world. At the side, the weakest perfected Lord Earthshing's body was burning. Di Xing was in extreme pain. When an emperor-level master went all out, he was truly powerful. One venerable sovereign and 7 real gods had besieged Yanji, but now they seemed to be at a disadvantage. It wasn't that he couldn't win. It was just that they didn't want to die. When Yanji risked his life, they were a little scared. When Fang Ping saw this, he immediately roared, "Let him go! At most, us father and son will leave the celestial court and find a deserted place to cultivate in seclusion. None of you will have a good ending." If they didn't kill Yanji now, there would be a lot of trouble in the future. Besides, even if he didn't kill one venerable sovereign, the strength of the 3 venerable sovereigns of the evil cult was too strong. In the crowd, Thunder Sovereign didn't say anything. At this moment, the Thunder Emperor also had a solemn expression on his face. Soon, everyone discovered that countless energies were gathering towards the Thunder Emperor from all directions. In the sky, a dark cloud of energy suddenly condensed. Thunderous strike. Sovereign Thunderbolt roared. In the void, dark clouds of energy erupted. Rumble. Thunder. Lightning. Lightning of energy. Bolts of thunder and lightning broke through the void and chopped down towards Yanji. In the evil sect, Fang Ping had finally witnessed the true combat style of ancient martial arts. These powerhouses had their own unique characteristics. They could control energy fire and energy lightning. They were truly like immortals. Compared to them, Fang Ping and the other martial artists of the neo-martial era were at the level of street thugs. However, upon closer inspection, Fang Ping secretly despised him. What's the point of making so many gimmicks? Yes, these people seem to be gathering external energy, but external energy also depended on their control. It was impossible for one's control to reach 1 million calories and gather 2 million calories of energy to unleash 2 million calories of damage. There was a lot of energy leaking out. With his control, he didn't cause too much damage. Still, there was something good about it. Fang Ping still saw something redeeming about it. When these people fought, they first used external energy instead of exhausting their own foundation. In this way, their combat effectiveness would last longer. Of course, this did not matter to Fang Ping, but to the others, it was still something they could learn from. First, use external energy to fight, preserve my own strength, and wait for the killing blow. This is a good idea. Neo-martial artists generally used their own energy directly and replenished it while fighting. Compared to these people, their lethality and control were stronger, but their endurance was slightly worse. Each has its own pros and cons. Rumble. The lightning and the fire dragon collided, causing the void to crack. The space of the heavenly realm fragment was actually harder to break through than the catacombs. However, It was still a fragment, after all. It was not as stable as the heaven realm in the past. It was slightly sturdier than the catacombs, but in reality, there was still a limit. After all, the catacombs was a complete continent, while this fragment was only a small piece of the world. At this moment, the void where the fire dragon and the lightning bolt collided split open. Not just one layer of the void broke open, with some gaps in between. Then the second layer broke open, followed by the third layer. The fourth layer, the fifth layer did not break open, almost. Breaking through fourth heaven required at least a vitality outburst of 2 million calories. Breaking through fifth heaven required 4 million calories. Now, fifth heaven was almost broken open. The place where they collided already had an outburst limit of about 2 million calories. This meant that both of their attacks had already reached the standard of an Emperor-level full-powered attack. At this moment, fifth heaven was about to break open. Everyone dodged. A few true lords, Earthly and Xing, retreated one after another. It was too dangerous. Among them, Ground Oddity was still fine. He was extremely powerful. Before fifth heaven was broken, he would not be in danger of dying. But for the others, even if they only broke through fourth heaven once they were involved, there was still a risk of dying. Emperor level was Emperor level. 3 to 5 true gods could resist, but it did not mean there was no danger. Under normal circumstances, 3 to 5 true gods resisted venerable emperors. Usually, the venerable emperors would be unharmed. If a true god died, they could only entangle the other party so that they would not collapse in one blow. Fourth heaven was broken, and it was not the initial breakthrough. Fang Ping also retreated. Now, if he was involved in the fourth heaven rift, he might also be killed on the spot. This kind of battle was extremely dangerous. Thunder. Yan Zhi's eyes were like the sun, bursting with flames. He shouted angrily, "You want to kill me? It won't be that easy. Even if I die, don't think you'll have it easy. Fengyun is still hiding in the dark. If you kill me, can you kill Fengyun again? Ground Oddity, Yun Shang, these people are only true gods. But today, they want to go against the natural order and kill an emperor. There is no hierarchy, no fear. Today, they dare to join forces with you to kill me. Tomorrow, they dare to join forces with Fengyun to kill you. These ambitious people deserve to die. Why don't we join forces to kill them? Ridiculous." Thunder ignored him, but his eyes were cold. Yan Zhi did not have good intentions. As soon as he said this, Ground Oddity, who was close to him, moved away immediately, afraid that he would attack him. A group of people did not believe each other. They were all full of fear. If they were not united, it would not be easy to kill an emperor level. Yan Zhi did not expect to join forces with Thunder. Compared to these people, Thunder was obviously more afraid of him. After all, one was an emperor level, the other was a true god. But this was enough. At least these people were afraid of each other and did not dare to use their full strength. This was his chance to escape. Otherwise, it would be difficult for him to escape from an emperor and 7 true gods. Fang Ping squinted, feeling a little helpless. If this went on, it might be a failure. He could not kill Yan Zhi. Thunder probably still had the determination to kill him, but the other true gods might be more afraid and not dare to fight to the death. A few weaker true gods, such as Ground Xing and Ground Gu, were now very afraid. Even if they attacked together, they gathered at the periphery. As powerful as Ground Oddity was, he was also afraid of Yan Zhi's dying counterattack and dragging him down. His attacks were also weak, far from exerting the strength of a near-emperor powerhouse. Fang Ping cursed in his heart. They were all like this. The Catacombs Grand Master and the evil sects were all like this. These powerhouses were all afraid of being taken advantage of by others. They would not fight to the death until they were at the brink of death. Of course, when they were at the brink of death, these people were not weak when they burst out. For example, Yanji was extremely valiant when he fought now. While fighting against Thunder's attack, he was looking for opportunities to attack the other true gods, wanting to kill one of them and intimidate everyone. These people could fight a winning battle. Once someone died, some unforeseen events might happen soon, causing the true gods to collapse. Thunder was unwilling to fight to the death. This was very troublesome. Fang Ping kept thinking of countermeasures in his mind. At this moment, Heavenly Wood's voice suddenly rang in his mind. If this goes on, it will be very difficult to kill Yanji. This place is not far from Heavenly Wood Forest. Why not force Yanji into the Heavenly Wood Forest? Once he enters the Heavenly Wood Forest, I can think of a way to suppress him secretly. There are many restrictions in Heavenly Wood Forest, not only above 10,000 feet, but the entire Heavenly Wood Forest has restrictions. There is hope to kill this person. Fang Ping's eyes flickered. Heavenly Wood Forest. Heavenly Wood also had Emperor-level combat strength, and it was probably not an ordinary Emperor level. Yes, its threat range was only about 1,000 miles. But Fang Ping had forgotten one thing before. He had absolute combat strength. When he entered Sky Plant City, he only had rank 8 combat strength. That was why Li Zhu could cross 3,000 miles and kill him in one blow. But an ordinary Emperor level could cross 1,000 miles and kill him in one blow? At this moment, Fang Ping felt that he might have underestimated Heavenly Wood. This guy might be stronger than expected. It might not necessarily have the strength of an ordinary Emperor level. Now it asked Fang Ping to lure Yanji over, saying that there were many restrictions in Heavenly Wood Forest. It even took the initiative to secretly suppress an Emperor level. This was not something an ordinary Emperor level could do. Heavenly Wood had been hiding itself. Was it not afraid of being exposed? Also, it took the initiative to help. Could it be a trap? Fang Ping had to think more. Sometimes, if you did not think more, you might be the first to die. Forget it. Even if Heavenly Wood really has a conspiracy, it must first face 2 Emperor-level powerhouses. Maybe letting them fight is more in line with my interests. Fang Ping looked at Thunder Emperor and Yanji. He did not say that he wanted to force Yanji to go to Heavenly Wood Forest. Instead, he shouted quickly, "Everyone, trap him! We can't let him escape into Heavenly Wood Forest. Otherwise, if he escapes more than 10,000 feet, we will be in trouble." As soon as these words came out, Yanji's eyes lit up. Yun Sheng had reminded him. He had almost forgotten about this just now. Yes, above 10,000 feet, it was a threat to true gods. Above 10,000 feet, it could even kill an emperor. Once he escaped more than 10,000 feet, the true gods present might not be able to continue to chase him. At that time, he would not be facing one venerable emperor, but 7 true gods. Ha ha ha. Yun Sheng, thank you. Yanji laughed loudly and suddenly erupted with all his strength. With one blow, he broke through the void, took a thunderbolt head-on, and broke through the sky for hundreds of miles. He wanted to go to Heavenly Wood Forest. Heavenly Wood Forest was not far from them. It was only a few thousand miles. Thunder Emperor's expression changed slightly. He quickly caught up, but he was annoyed. Yun Sheng, this idiot, had reminded Yanji at this time. They would be in big trouble later. Once Yanji escaped into Heavenly Wood Forest, above 10,000 feet, Yun Sheng and the other true gods would probably become useless, because if they went up, they would have to face all kinds of dangers. How could they have the chance to deal with Yanji? Everyone caught up, not wanting Yanji to enter Heavenly Wood Forest. Ground Qi and the others were also speechless. Why did Yun Sheng roar? At this moment of life and death, they almost didn't think of this. But Yun Sheng remembered it clearly. Now, if Yanji really escaped into Heavenly Wood Forest, it would be really difficult to kill Yanji today. Fang Ping seemed to realize it later. He was a little annoyed. He gritted his teeth and quickly chased forward without saying a word. In front of him, Thunder Emperor had already stopped Yanji again. He erupted thunderbolts and quickly attacked. This time, even if Yanji suffered a loss, he did not want to fight for a long time. He wanted to go to Heavenly Wood Forest in the crystal board. Heavenly Wood originally thought it was not easy to force an emperor to go to Heavenly Wood Forest thousands of miles away. But now, Heavenly Wood Doppelganger felt that he really had to be careful. This human king, in the blink of an eye, had a countermeasure. Even if Yanji was injured now, he would desperately run to Heavenly Wood Forest. He regarded Heavenly Wood Forest as his greatest savior. You deceived me to death, but you have to pay with your life. Heavenly Wood was worried. How many of his words were true? How many of his words were true? And how many were false? All things return to one technique. Is it really with the cat? It should be there, right? Can this human king get it? He should be able to. He even got the Western Emperor saber. Heavenly Wood Doppelganger was a little unconfident. Then he made up his mind. No matter what, he had to get rid of the threat of King Kuan first. If he could force an emperor to die in Heavenly Wood Forest, he might be able to break King Kuan's great array. Over the years, it was not that it didn't want to leave, but it couldn't. Even its consciousness couldn't leave, because King Kuan had blocked everything and set up a great array, similar to the one that burned Qin Yunshi that day, with the emperor fighting there. Even if it couldn't be completely broken, it could make a hole in the great array. At that time, the shackles would be loosened. A group of people quickly rushed toward Heavenly Wood Forest. In order to rush to Heavenly Wood Forest, Yanji almost only defended and didn't attack. In this way, he was constantly injured and bleeding. When the emperor's blood dripped down, the blood exploded, often destroying a part of the world. In the eyes of true gods, Emperor was very strong, but it was still acceptable. Below true gods, however, Emperor was truly an invincible existence. When a drop of blood exploded, it often had the explosive power of tens of thousands of vitality. This kind of lethality was not worth mentioning to Fang Ping and the rest. However, one must know that peak rank 6 only had the limit of 10,000 cal vitality. Rank 8, peak golden body 6th, refinement, had the limit of about 100,000 cal. When a drop of blood exploded, those below rank 8 had almost no resistance and would definitely die. In addition, there was the emperor's pressure and the pressure of many true gods. This day was practically the end of Pantheon. Below, cities were destroyed one after another. Countless people died, tragically, in a battle between powerhouses. All living beings were like ants. This was the reason why humans never dared to hold a battle between powerhouses on Earth. It was too scary. Even if those powerhouses had no intention of killing the weak, they would not deliberately hold back for the sake of the weak. That would be suicidal. Below, another city was swept away by the aftermath. Countless people exploded, blood flowing like a river. Below, there was a rank 9 powerhouse howling at the sky. Why? What have we done? The battle between the powerhouses implicates all living beings. Where is the sect leader? Boom! With a loud explosion, the old rank 9 powerhouse was directly blown up by the powerful aftermath. Thunder and the others could not bear to hear this. They did not do it on purpose. Were they not hunting Yanji? If Yanji did not run here, this would not have happened. Now, a mere origin dared to blame them at this time. If they lost control of their power, these origin realms would definitely die. The old rank, 9, fell, and the other powerhouses who did not die fled in all directions. Today was the end of the world. Pantheon is in chaos. The end is coming. At this moment, the news spread throughout the entire Pantheon continent. Countless people were panicking. The world had changed. In the Divine City, panic, helplessness, all kinds of emotions made the entire Pantheon uneasy. In the Heavenly Inquisition Tower, a crystal ball floated in the air. Supreme Dark Earth's face was pale as he said hurriedly, "Dizun, D-Man was killed, Di-Jie was killed, Yunsheng proved his Tao, and now he is working with others to hunt down Yanji. The Pantheon is in chaos." In the crystal ball, a faintly discernible shadow appeared. It was the old man who had appeared outside the battlefield that day. The illusory figure of Taoist Fengyan appeared and said solemnly, "Di-Jie was killed, D-Man was killed. Why did a war suddenly break out all of a sudden?" Taoist Fengyan's face was dark, and his tone was not pleasant either. "Bastards! Are Thunder and Yanji crazy? Now they are fighting, damn it. Recently, I heard some news that various forces may be secretly planning against the Divine Sect. Now that we are fighting, if we suffer heavy losses, how can we resist the external enemies?" These days, he was also entangled by other matters. He heard some news that the powerhouses of the 3 realms might be attacking the Divine Sect. At this time, 2 true gods had died, all at once, no, 4, and they were not weaklings, especially Di-Jie, a near-emperor powerhouse. Their deaths would greatly weaken the Divine Sect's strength. "Dizun, what should we do now?" Supreme Dark Earth was also panicking. These people are already in a killing frenzy. Once Dizun, Yanji is killed, I am afraid I will also be killed. Now, in the entire Divine Palace, he was the only true god who did not get involved. He was also very powerful, but once Yanji was killed as a supporter of Taoist Fengyan, would he also be their next target? They were really in a killing frenzy. An Earth hero could die just like that. Taoist Fengyan was usually indifferent, but now he could not help but curse in a low voice. Were they all crazy? The sect master was not dead yet. Di-Jie was a direct descendant of the sect master. Even he felt that it was too bold to kill him just like that. It seems that Thunder is ready to sacrifice everything for the Earth King Palace. This guy's lifespan is running out, and he has been stuck at the Emperor level for a long time. It seems that he is anxious. Taoist Fengyan somewhat understood Thunder's anxiety. If he was not anxious, he would not have been so bold as to directly go to the Earth King Palace to break the formation. After thinking for a while, Taoist Fengyan quickly said, "I will rush back to the Divine Palace now and contact those 2 bastards. We can't fight anymore. Once the Divine Palace is discovered, there may be a war of the 3 realms. We should be able to make it." It was not easy to kill Yanji. It would take him some time to get back. He could get back to the Divine Palace in about a quarter of an hour. The speed of the Emperor level was also very fast. Yanji should be able to hold on for a while, right? Taoist Fengyan did not delay. Now, he was a little far from the Divine Palace. Although the protectors could contact each other, they had to be within 10,000 miles. He did not know how far they were now. Kill. Seeing the heavenly wood forest getting closer and closer, the others were also anxious. Although they did not want to fight to death, they did not want to let Yanji escape. Now, once they entered the heavenly wood forest, Yanji had a great chance to escape. Guys, don't let him escape into the heavenly wood forest. Thunder was also anxious. He had already taken action, and of course he wanted to kill Yanji. Kill. At this time, the others also showed their powers. Ground Qi forced some blood out of his palm, as if he was drawing talismans in the air. The next moment, above Yanji, who was escaping, appeared a big bloody net which was going to cover him. This was Ground Qi's confinement method. But Yanji was not weak. He was stronger than Ground Qi. With a roar, he burned through the big bloody net like a man on fire. But he was delayed for a while. Behind him, Di Fei and the others attacked. Puff! Yanji spat out blood. At this time, the Heavenly Wood Forest was in sight. Yanji did not care about being injured. He laughed and said, "You want to kill me? Wishful thinking. Thunder, can you kill me in a one-on-one fight?" The higher he went, the more dangerous it was. Except for Thunder, no one could go up. At that time, he was not afraid of Thunder in a one-on-one fight. Among the 8 protectors, Protector Jean was the strongest, but unfortunately, he died. The other protectors had similar strength. In this case, it was easy to defeat one of them, but it was difficult to kill one of them. Even King Wu had tried his best to kill an emperor-level protector. Thunder snorted coldly. At this moment, he no longer condensed energy clouds, but directly broke through the sky. He wanted to fight in close combat and suppress Yanji. Yanji's face changed slightly. He broke through the sky again and escaped to the Heavenly Wood Forest not far away. At this time, Fong Ping was not too anxious. He communicated in his mind how to suppress Yanji. "Can you do it? If you can, just kill Thunder as well." Heavenly Wood was speechless. What was he thinking? Did he really think it was so easy to kill an Emperor-level protector? Moreover, he still had a big enemy. Also, this guy was really evil. Just now he was cooperating with him. Now he even said he would kill Thunder. "I'll try my best. When you enter the Heavenly Wood Forest, let my clone touch the trees." Okay. While talking, they had already entered the Heavenly Wood Forest. Around them, the trees were almost instantly smashed, no matter how tough they were. Facing so many powerhouses, they would be smashed to pieces. In the Heavenly Wood Forest, some rank 9 powerhouses were also terrified. They did not have time to receive the news. At this moment, these powerhouses suddenly attacked without any scruples. Some rank 9 powerhouses could not dodge in time and were almost instantly smashed to pieces. Today, blood was destined to flow like a river. Fong Ping deliberately spread his strength to attack the powerhouses who were escaping. He killed one by one. In the dark, Fong Ping quickly made contact with a tree that was not broken, tens of thousands of feet above. The old man Heavenly Wood was calm and collected. Some images flashed quickly in his mind. He knew everything that happened today. The opportunity came so quickly, even Heavenly Wood was shocked. This human king Zhenxing had caused an emperor-level battle in Divine Court so quickly. Good. Opposite, King Kuan's expression was so cold, it was almost dripping water. The emperor-level battle had really started. Just as he was about to stand up, Heavenly Wood grinned and placed a chess piece. The white chess pieces that were initially in a disadvantageous position suddenly erupted, counterattacking the black chess pieces. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 chess pieces were killed. "Your Highness, why are you in such a hurry?" Heavenly Wood laughed heartily. "Don't be in a hurry. A few emperor levels dying was nothing, was it?" King Kuan's clone snorted coldly, his gaze cold. Heavenly Wood wanted to stop him. However, at this moment, he really could not leave. Once he did, he would be attacked by Heavenly Wood very soon. After waiting for 8,000 years, he did not want any accidents. He could not even transmit his voice. After all, this was Heavenly Wood's territory. "Heavenly Wood, you have no chance." "Your Highness, don't be impatient. This old man will accompany your Highness for a game of chess." No rush, no rush. Smiling from ear to ear, Heavenly would continue to place his chess piece. 8,000 years, the opportunity had come. This human king had somewhat exceeded his expectations. Chapter 1093. Water Mirror. Thunder Eclipse. In the Heavenly Wood Forest, the real gods also took out their trump cards. True Lord Earthfly's divine weapon turned into a mirror surging with waves. In the mirror, a big fish monster was swimming in the sea. Under Fong Ping's surprised gaze, the water in the mirror gushed out. Corrosive water, the water of the Forbidden Sea. Fong Ping was extremely surprised. The water of the Forbidden Sea had corrosive effects, but it had no effect after leaving the Forbidden Sea. Fong Ping did not expect that Earthfly could actually store seawater in his divine weapon. At this moment, seawater covered the sky and the earth. Even the skywood forest had turned into an ocean. Countless plants were corroded and instantly turned into nothingness. The true monarch under Dwarch Thunderclap's command had also summoned lightning. In the sky, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Yen Ji, who was entangled by Emperor Thunder, roared angrily. His body was covered by seawater, and the sizzling sound was endless. Earthfly's divine weapon came from the Forbidden Sea, and it was made of the demon cores and materials of the ultimate demon beasts in the sea. At this moment, the seawater's corrosive effect was even stronger. The other true lords also showed their supernatural powers. The weakest true Lord Earthly took out his weapon, a set of shackles. The shackles appeared and went straight to Yen Ji. When Yen Ji was besieged, they instantly locked Yen Ji's neck. Bastard! Yen Ji roared angrily. Earthly Lord actually put shackles on himself. This was a shame. True Lord Earthly Lord did not speak, his face pale. He had been targeted by Yen Ji and almost burned his golden body. He had not recovered to his peak state yet. They all had their own tricks, and Fong Ping did not dare to use them. Otherwise, he might have a chance to break through the Emperor-level Dao and enter his Dao to kill him. But he could not. Therefore, Fong Ping felt like a bystander at this moment. Of course, Fong Ping, who was holding a true divine weapon, was not weak when he unleashed an outburst. Under his control, a long sword circled around Yen Ji and slashed at him continuously. Yen Ji's golden body was covered in blood marks. Emperor blood fell again. In the distance, countless people were crying. Doomsday, disaster. There were many people who came to the Skywood Forest to look for opportunities. But now, so many powerhouses were fighting unscrupulously, and there were countless casualties. When the Forbidden Sea's water covered the golden body, it melted almost instantly. Even if he had the golden body, it would melt over time. This was the tyranny of the sea. I won't die. The scorching heat erupted once again like a blazing sun. Not only that, but this time Yen Ji was really angry. Anyway, he had arrived at the Heavenly Wood Forest. When he flew away, these people would not be able to catch up with him. He wanted to kill. Kill who? Yun Sheng. If it weren't for this man, how could he, a venerable sovereign, end up like this? In front of hundreds of millions of people in the divine court, he fled in panic. After today, the news that Yen Ji was chased like a dog would spread in the divine court. He couldn't accept this. Like the scorching sun, it burned the void, dried up the seawater, and shattered the shackles. As these true gods were vomiting blood, Yen Ji stretched out his big hand with a faint spark in his hand and slapped at Fong Ping. At this moment, Fong Ping's soul almost left his body. What the hell is this? He sensed mortal danger. At the side, perfected Lord Di Fei roared furiously, "Retreat, Origin Flame." This was the Origin Flame, forged by an Emperor-level powerhouse by burning his own origin. Once Fong Ping came into contact with it, the flame would enter his source world very quickly and burn his origin. It was extremely domineering. Of course, it would also consume a lot of origin qi for Yanji. At this moment, Fong Ping really saw the domineering power of these ancient combat techniques. It could actually burn the origin. Before the giant palm touched him, he already felt threatened. Of course, Fong Ping felt that he might not be afraid. He had endless origin qi, so he might be able to extinguish the origin flame. However, at this time, he would not be willing to be hit, so he hurriedly fled. Perfected Lord Di Fei also roared. The big fish that the divine weapon transformed into instantly rushed over and swallowed the giant palm. Puff! The sparks on the giant palm were swallowed. At this moment, in Fong Ping's somewhat horrified eyes, the big fish was almost burned in an instant, and then the divine weapon revealed itself. Sizzle! The sparks burned fiercely on the divine weapon. Perfected Lord Di Fei's face was deathly pale. He gritted his teeth. Without another word, he detonated the divine weapon. He could not take it anymore. If he did not give up, it would easily burn his source world. Kaboom! With a loud bang, a true divine weapon exploded just like that. Yanji's giant palm was shattered, his face slightly pale. At this time, Thunder Venerable Emperor did not care about Fong Ping at all. Taking advantage of this opportunity, a palm containing thunder slammed down. Bang! For layers of cracks exploded in the void. The fourth heaven was broken. Puff! Yanji spat out a mouthful of blood, a little annoyed. He glared fiercely at Fong Ping and Di Fei, not caring about killing them anymore. He was going to fly thousands of feet above. However, this attack had also seriously injured Di Fei, so it was not a wasted effort. Fong Ping glanced at Di Fei. His eyes flickered, but he quickly suppressed his palpitation. Di Fei did that to protect his son, not to protect himself. Don't pretend to have feelings for him. That would be ridiculous. He killed Yun Sheng. If he had feelings for his old man, he would be looking for trouble for himself. He has his standpoint. He has his family. I have mine. After all, we are not on the same path. Once my identity is exposed, he will be the first to kill me. How can I have feelings for him? Fong Ping did not think too much, but his face revealed a worried expression as he looked at Di Fei. True, Lord Di Fei's face was pale. He shook his head slightly, indicating that he was fine. Fong Ping did not speak again. Instead, he quickly communicated with Skywood. Why aren't you suppressing him? Wait. Skywood's clone had already established contact with the main body. In fact, it was equivalent to the main body communicating with Fong Ping. When they reach thousands of feet above, then the suppression will not be sudden. Young friend, this time, I have something to trouble you to help me with. Fong Ping frowned and asked quickly, What? The restriction here was set up by me and another person. Later, I will open up a safe passage for young friend. Young friend, you can go up thousands of feet or even hundreds of thousands of feet. Fong Ping's heart skipped a beat. He felt that nothing good would come out of it. Sure enough, Skywood continued. Young friend, you don't need to do much. I will suppress Yanji for a while. Young friend, attack with all your might. Just hit Yanji to the edge of hundreds of thousands of feet. This is not difficult. Fong Ping cursed silently. Not difficult? What a joke. That was emperor level. Moreover, there was a possibility that he would be exposed. He dared not expose himself now. He would be courting death. If he was exposed now, and there were so many powerhouses here, what was it if not a death wish? Fong Ping's thoughts turned quickly. He hit the edge. What did Sky would want to do with this emperor level? Quickly weighing the pros and cons, Fong Ping said, Don't open it to just me. All of you. If it's just me, I will be exposed immediately. You suppress us first, and also suppress Yanji, suppress them together. Then you release the suppression on us instantly. We will definitely join forces to kill Yanji. I will find a chance to guide everyone and hit them high up in the sky. It was too sudden for him to do it alone. Fong Ping was not stupid. Sky Wood, this old guy, felt that his brain was not enough, or he did not care about his own life and death at all. Fong Ping was stunned. This old guy did not care about his own life and death. That meant that he did not care too much about the primordial chaos technique. Then, what did he care about? There was no time for him to be stunned. At this moment, Yanji quickly broke through the air. He did not care. Even if Thunder Emperor attacked him crazily, he would not care. He would go up first. This venerable emperor's vitality was really strong. Even if he was besieged and chased all the way and was seriously injured, his combat strength was still strong. Ground Chi, who was chasing him from behind, was almost smashed by his palm. This also scared Ground Chi, and he did not dare to get too close. The killing continued. All the true gods were bleeding, and Flame Ji was no exception. For the first time in 8,000 years, such a battle broke out in the heavenly court. An emperor-level battle. At this moment, everyone had already killed about 10,000 feet away. Thunder Emperor was already a little helpless. It seemed that he might not be able to kill Yanji today. At this moment, Ground Xing and the others had already felt the pressure. The surrounding void cracks were extremely powerful and were cutting their flesh. Fong Ping looked angry and roared, "Everyone, he is already injured. Hold on for a while. We can still hold on for 3,000 feet. Even if we can't kill him, we can still seriously injure him." When everyone heard this, they also unleashed their strength. The void shattered, and they all rushed toward Yanji. "Yunsheng, if I don't die today, unless you stay with these people for the rest of your life, I will definitely kill you." Yanji roared angrily. Today, he had been forced to this point by a junior. It was simply a disgrace. If he didn't die this time, he would definitely kill this guy Yunsheng. A true god going against an emperor level? He did not believe that Yunsheng could always stay with these people. Sooner or later, he would kill him. "Then I will kill you." Fong Ping roared and rushed into the sky, taking the lead. His golden body was being cut, but he ignored it and rushed toward Yanji, bathed in blood. Rumble! The two sides fought. Fong Ping was quickly beaten back, but at this moment, the others also rushed over. Among them, Thunder Emperor was the most sinister. He did not care about the injuries of the others. When he found an opportunity, he attacked. Suddenly, thunder flashed, and one of Yanji's arms exploded. Yanji was also a ruthless person. He knew that he could not defeat these people together, so he cut off his arm. His left arm was directly broken and fell in front of Ground Xing, exploding with a rumble. A venerable emperor's arm exploded. The lethality was not low. Half of Ground Xing's golden body exploded in an instant, and his face turned pale. Up until now, both sides had sustained injuries. Fong Ping and the others were all injured. At this time, Fong Ping really admired Old Zhang. Before in the emperor's tomb, Old Zhang quickly killed a venerable emperor. He thought it was quite easy, but today, Thunder led 7 true gods to besiege a venerable emperor, and it was actually so difficult. They continued to fly up into the sky. Fong Ping and the others were already a little weak. Seeing them slow down, Yanji laughed out loud. "Kill an emperor, you are not qualified." It was not easy for a group of true gods to kill a venerable emperor, even if Thunder was here. So what? Thunder did not dare to fight with him now. Fengyan had not appeared yet. Just after laughing, Yanji suddenly shook his head. Not only him, but the others were also a little dazed. Ground Cheese suddenly looked at the huge trunk not far away and exclaimed, "Opportunity! Yes, opportunity." At this moment, a picture appeared on the big tree. A strong man with an unclear face was sitting on a green continent. It was not a continent, but a tree crown, the crown of heavenly wood. At this moment, the strong man opened his mouth and began to talk about martial arts. Before the three realms were divided, martial arts had not appeared. Humans were weak, not as good as beasts. Natural disasters, man-made disasters, wars, beast attacks. At the beginning of the three realms, humans were the weakest, and there were countless casualties. At that time, someone accidentally ate a rare fruit and did not die. His bones turned into a golden body, and in a day, he became extremely powerful. The wise men of the human race comprehended, realized the mystery of the human body, and started martial arts. This is called beginner martial arts. This strong man was talking about beginner martial arts. Fong Ping and the others were in a trance at this moment, listening like they were intoxicated. Humans discovered the mystery of the human body and began to think about evolution. At that time, there was no martial arts. They thought they were undergoing human evolution, and martial arts was actually a kind of evolution process. In the beginning, the human who accidentally ate the rare fruit turned his bones into golden bones, but it was too dangerous. After trying for a while, many people exploded and died. The energy was too strong, and they could not bear it. Therefore, they chose to eat the rare fruit with weak energy, but some still exploded. Slowly, beginner martial artists discovered that evolution had to be done step by step, not in one go. Therefore, some people began to forge their bodies, some forged their bones. It was different now. Now, the lower three ranks were forging their bones, the middle ranks were forging their internal organs, and the upper ranks were the time to develop the limits of the human body. Only when they reached rank 8 would they develop to the limit. However, at that time, no one taught them. This group of pioneers, beginner martial artists, were all experimenting on their own. Each had their own path. At that time, it was also the true era of 100 flowers blossoming. Some people started forging directly from the skull. Some people directly forged the 5 viscera and 6 bowels. There was no order to progress. It was a very rough forging method. The forceful kind had a frighteningly high mortality rate. Thousands of people forging their bodies, the mortality rate could be as high as 99%. But those who survived, without exception, were all powerhouses. These people had completed the transformation and were extremely powerful. The powerful beasts of the past were now like ants in their eyes, and they could kill them with one punch. Humans experienced the benefits of this kind of evolution and did not care about death anymore. A large number of people began to study martial arts. In the image, the old man was still talking about the origins of beginner martial artists. If that was all, the people might not be so obsessed. Soon, the old man began to talk about the main topic this time. Beginner martial artists have not comprehended origin, nor have they stepped into the origin domain. But beginner martial artists are still incomparably powerful. Among them, the powerhouses can break through 8th firmament. Extreme Heavenly Emperor can also be considered a type of beginner martial artist. Of course, the difference is that Extreme Heavenly Emperor has comprehended origin. Therefore, Extreme Heavenly Emperors can fight emperors, but beginner martial artists cannot. Beginner martial artists are also a kind of extreme path. If they have the amplification of origin, the powerhouses among them can also fight emperors. Everyone was shocked. Beginner martial artists fighting emperors? True, beginner martial artists could break through 8th firmament. If these people mastered the power of origin, how many times would the amplification be? even if it was only double that could break through ninth firmament. These people's foundations were strong to such an extent. And the old man was not to promote the strength of beginner martial artists, but to preach, to talk about the path of beginner martial artists, the development of the physical body, the development of mentality, the development of vitality. Where is the limit of the human body? Golden Body 9 refinements, Emperor 9 refinements, Origin 9 refinements. Are they still 9 refinements? Listening to the old man, emperors were also 9 refinements, but 9 refinements and 9 refinements were different. Although they were all called 9 refinements, the difference in physical strength was like a moat. The physical body can also evolve. Beginner martial artists, powerhouses who walk the path of the physical body are the most. Spiritual consciousness development is the minority, and the records of physical development are also the most. Above the golden body, is there a stronger physical body? Among the 4 extreme emperors, can the celestial emperor's physical body still be golden body? 1,000 years ago, I sparred with the celestial emperor, once broke a corner of his physical body, revealing his bones, jade bones. The old man lamented. Jade bones. The whole body is like jade. The celestial emperor can be said to be a jade man. It's just that he usually hides his true appearance. The forging of the emperor armor may not be to strengthen the body. I'm afraid it is also to hide the fact that his whole body is like jade. Fong Ping listened, dumbfounded. Jade man? Ironhead? The celestial emperor? He wanted to laugh. Jade man. This title, the style was really strange. However, Fong Ping still became serious. After the golden bones, could there still be transformations? Was this how beginner martial artists were? Below, there was also a powerhouse who said respectfully, Teacher, is jade bones above golden bones? How to forge jade bones? Forging jade bones. Can there be another qualitative change? I have also asked the Celestial Emperor about this. The Celestial Emperor has also discussed with me for several years the jade bone forging method. At this moment, Fong Ping and the others seemed to have forgotten everything. Each of their ears pricked up. They also wanted to know. This was the bone forging method of the extreme path Celestial Emperor. Who was the Celestial Emperor? There were not many people in the outside world who knew, but the divine court knew that it was the power of the 4 emperors, the Celestial Emperor, whose physical body was incomparably domineering, had once fought with the emperor. The old man was probably one of the 9 emperors, not surprisingly. As for who it was, Fong Ping felt that he should have guessed it. At this moment, the scene changed behind the old man. Fong Ping seemed to see a big water buffalo lying down. The old ancestor with mediocre strength, water power. This was Emperor Nan. Emperor Nan had sparred with the Celestial Emperor before, breaking his physical body. Of course, how Emperor Nan himself, he did not say. Presumably, he may not have gained the upper hand. At this moment, Fong Ping and the others wanted to continue listening. This was a rare opportunity that only appeared once in 1,000 years. An emperor was narrating the bone forging method of an extreme path Celestial Emperor. If they learned it, just as Fong Ping was still immersed in it, Heavenly Wood's voice sounded in his mind. Quick, I will take this opportunity to suppress him for a moment. You guys attack together. Fong Ping woke up instantly, then cursed silently. Heavenly Wood, this old fellow was indeed sinister. He had no intention of telling everyone the bone forging method. Of course, he might not know, because Fong Ping felt that if he passed on the Tao, Emperor Nan might be a little more guarded or pass on it through methods such as mentality. But it was very uncomfortable to keep people in suspense. He could not care too much. At this moment, not only him, but the others also looked slightly shocked. Then their faces were full of regret. Gone. The scene was gone. Only Yen Ji seemed to be a little sluggish. He was still immersed in it, even if it was extremely dangerous at this moment. But he seemed to be affected. At this moment, Thunder also woke up instantly. Seeing Yanji's appearance, he was a little surprised. Then he could not care too much. Yanji actually woke up a step too late. Wasn't this courting death? He was too surprised. Everyone present who was not a strong martial artist did not notice Yanji's abnormality. Without any communication, everyone at this moment burst out the most powerful moves. Fang Ping also burst out the power, but it was a little off, from the bottom up. In short, Fang Ping was below him. At this time, he directly stabbed Yanji's lower body. The long sword shot out, directly piercing Yanji's lower body, intending to stab Yanji's lower body. The others did not care about this. They all burst out. At this moment, Yanji also felt the danger. Instantly sobering up, there seemed to be some regret in his eyes, as if he regretted not hearing the key thing. The next moment, it turned into horror. At this time, he was actually distracted. Damn it! Yanji roared. How could he be distracted at this time? Just as he was about to burst out, his body slightly stagnated. Countless void cracks appeared behind him. They were all extremely powerful, instantly cutting his flesh, hindering his movement. No! Yanji madly roared again. He should not have been distracted. No matter how important the Jade Bone method was, it was not as important as his own life. Unexpectedly, he was greedy, and at this moment, he was actually tempted. Unfortunately, it was too late. How fast the strong attacked. Thunder Venerable Emperor's thunder arrived immediately. With a bang, Yanji's head exploded. Like a ferocious tiger, Supreme Di Qi directly pierced Yanji's chest with his claws. The other Supremes also bombarded through the air, except for Yanji's left hand. The other 3 limbs of his were instantly destroyed. At this time, Fang Ping's longsword came late. At the moment when Yanji's head was reborn, Yanji's eyes were dull and then angry. The sword pierced through his lower body. Ouch! A shrill roar came. It was very painful. It was not known whether it was because of the previous injuries or the sword that was too painful. The long sword pierced through his lower body, and the huge force sent him flying upwards. The long sword replaced his 5th limb, now swaying between his legs that had disappeared. At this moment, even Thunder Venerable Emperor slightly twitched the corner of his mouth. This position was really good. Yanji roared angrily. At this moment, also affected by the impact, his broken body flew up rapidly. Along the way, there seemed to be no void cracks in the way. In the blink of an eye, he rose to a height of nearly 10,000 feet. At this moment, above 10,000 feet, King Kuen's doppelganger frowned and suddenly slapped Tianmu. Tianmu instantly turned into a big tree, the trunk shining with golden light, even faintly revealing the color of crystal. Bang! This palm strike caused some cracks to appear on the tree, but it was useless. The big tree showed a human face and laughed. "Your Highness, your people are really disobedient." Above 10,000 feet was a forbidden area, and King Kuen had ordered that no one was allowed to come. But at this moment someone came, even if it was passive. A loud rumbling sound rang out. Just below the 2 of them, it seemed that something hit the barrier. It was mixed with some painful roars. Yanji was cursing, but the next moment he could not curse. While Yanji was still in a daze, a jade-colored rattan wrapped around him from above. At this moment, Yanji felt as if he had penetrated something, as if he heard a familiar angry roar. "Tianmu, you are courting death." Was that King Kuen's voice? This was the last remaining consciousness of him. Then, although he was seriously injured, the magic weapon in his lower body suddenly turned into a tree trunk and strung him up. In a trance, he saw a big tree suddenly grow wildly in his source world. It grew bigger and bigger. It was so big that it covered the sky and the sun. It was going to burst his source world. He had no time to think about where this big tree came from, because the source world could not hold on any longer. Crack. If someone was traveling in the source world at this moment, he would find that a huge tree suddenly grew on a dim planet, which was many times bigger than the planet. Outside the planet, the consciousness of the venerable sovereign guarding the planet was directly smashed into pieces by the branches of the big tree. The next moment, in the source universe, the planet suddenly swelled up. Bang! The planet exploded. This loud bang even caused the source world to tremble. At this moment, in the source world, on many planets, the virtual figures guarding suddenly opened their eyes and looked over. There were even voices. The venerable sovereign died. Another one. Who died? The loud bang continued, and the source world was still shaking. In the real world, there was also an earth-shattering sound. The next moment, the aftermath of the energy that swept across thousands of miles exploded. Like plowing a hole in the ground, the surrounding area was turned into nothingness. In the sky, the blood clouds instantly turned into blood rain. The venerable sovereign died. For the first time in 8,000 years, a venerable sovereign died in the divine court. P.S. Chapter 3. A little too late. My strength is not what I want. I'm old. My hands go soft typing. Chapter 1094. The sky changed color and blood poured down. Even in the outside world, the great path was roaring. A venerable sovereign had died. On the forbidden sea, in a deserted place, Taoist Feng Yun saw the sky change color, and his expression changed dramatically. Dead. He couldn't believe it. How long had it been? Dead. Who died? If it could affect the outside world, it must be a venerable sovereign. Was Yanji dead? Taoist Feng Yun couldn't believe it. How long had it taken him to get here? 5 minutes? Less than 10 minutes? But Yanji was killed. Oh no! Taoist Feng Yun's expression changed slightly. He quickly set off stormy waves and disturbed the forbidden sea. Just now, when a venerable sovereign died, there was some disturbance in the outside world. This could easily expose the location of the divine religious sect. Above the great sea, at this moment, the wind was surging and the clouds were surging. Waves were rising from all directions, and the wind and clouds were changing. As a result, the range of the area was expanded, and the location of the divine sect was not easily discovered. Taoist Feng Yun also disappeared instantly. He had to check the situation immediately. This was troublesome. A venerable sovereign had died. Whether it was thunder or Yanji, it was not a good thing. These idiots knew that the divine religious sect was being targeted. Not long after Taoist Feng Yun disappeared, many ultimate venerables' auras exploded in the sky above the forbidden sea. What happened? Not only these people, but soon a figure directly tore the void above the forbidden sea. A handsome young man stepped out of the void, slightly frowning. A venerable sovereign died. He died in a worldlet. Otherwise, there would not be such a big movement. Did the venerable sovereign in the tomb of heaven die, or in another worldlet? The young man sensed for a while, and soon he slightly raised his eyebrows. Is that the aura of Feng Yun? Someone from the divine religious sect died. Hong Kuan, the young man murmured. Hong Kuan's person died. So something happened to the worldlet he controlled. The young man seemed to sense where the entrance was. He was about to take a step forward, but the next moment he sighed, tore the void, and disappeared. He was not going. Hong Kuan was not here. What was the point of going? Where on earth had the tomb of heaven moved to? The young man was Hong Yu. At this moment, even though the resurrected prince sensed some fluctuations in the space and found some traces of the divine religious sect, he still chose to leave. In his eyes, there were not many things in this world that were worthy of his attention. The death of a venerable sovereign was a major event, but he, who had lived since ancient times, had witnessed far more and far greater things than this. The scenes he had seen in the past were nothing compared to the death of a venerable sovereign in the fake sky grave. King Kuan lost control of his power. In the nearby region, the array erupted, coupled with his own power. The energy swept through the world. In the back, several true gods directly vomited blood and were sent flying, their golden bodies exploding. The three great sect protectors hurriedly took action, all of them roaring out, displaying their strength to protect everyone. But at that moment, someone took advantage of the situation to enter. Moon's spirit had been waiting all this time. This crazy woman was also an accident. Hong Kuan's power was out of control. This was too abnormal. However, this was a rare opportunity, so how could he give it up? Wielding the North Emperor's saber, she slashed through the void toward the experts protected by the three sages. She directly broke through their defenses and slashed a true god in half. Both his body and soul were destroyed. Just as she attacked, Heavenly King Zhen also smiled brightly. He stretched out his hand and grabbed a true god. With a low roar, he directly crushed the true god. These people had been attacked by the explosive power of the array and King Kuan's uncontrollable power. They had long been injured. Then they were attacked by Moon Spirit, which made them even more terrified. At that moment, Heavenly King Zhen took advantage of the situation and grabbed a true god. There was no way for the other party to escape. He was directly crushed. On the other side, Heaven's Pole also laughed crazily when he saw this. He slashed with his sword, Earthly Sovereign Sword, but at that moment, King Kuan, who had sobered up, was extremely angry. At that moment, he didn't even care about pretending to be weak. Be asterisk starred. At that moment, 2 of his subordinates had been killed. That was not all. In the outside world, Yan Zhi was dead. He was going crazy. Not only was Yan Zhi dead, but he also felt that there seemed to be a problem with the array he had set up. Just now, he had lost control of his power and the death of a venerable sovereign. More importantly, there seemed to be a problem with the array he had set up at Heavenly Wood. King Kuan was really angry. "You're courting death." King Kuan exploded. Under Heaven's Pole's gloomy and aggrieved gaze, King Kuan's attack broke through heaven and earth. Cracks in the shape of black lotuses appeared in the void. Under the shocked gazes of the other heavenly kings, King Kuan, who had previously shown his strength, became even more powerful at that moment. The lotus-shaped cracks seemed to have 7 petals. 7th heaven. King Zhen and the others were shocked. Breaking through 7th heaven with one attack, King Kuan had actually reached this level. Breaking through 6th heaven meant that he had the strength of a heavenly king. 6th heaven, 4. 8 million calories vitality. That was for the catacombs. The heavenly realm was actually more solid. The difference was not too big, but there was still an outburst of 5 million calories. Breaking through 6 meant that he had the combat strength of a heavenly king. Some powerhouses who had just entered the heavenly king level might not be able to break through 6. If their control of power was not good, they would not be able to break through. Breaking through 7. Back then, Heavenly Hound could break through 7. Later, it was said that it could even break through 8. Of course, Heavenly Hound in the heavenly realm could not break through 8. However, it was said that when Heavenly Hound battled the heavens in the heavenly tomb, it broke through 8. Breaking through 8 meant that it was one step away from the imperial path. During the era of the ancient heavenly courts, breaking through 7 was actually a boundary. This represented the strength of a heavenly emperor. Back then, The only powerhouse known to have this strength was Heavenly Hound. Of course, it was said that the three messengers might have this strength, but the three messengers denied it. Even the strongest weapon master said that he was slightly weaker. That was all in the past. Almost 10,000 years had passed. If these people were still alive, they might be able to break through 7 or even more. But King Kuan actually broke through 7. King Kuan was not considered powerful back then. He became one of the 8 kings because of the earthly sovereign. It did not mean that he was a powerhouse among the heavenly kings. After 8,000 years, King Kuan improved. At their level, it was normal to not improve in their lifetime. There was always an end to the great Tao. They were shocked, but Heaven's pole suffered. Bang! Heaven's pole broke through space. At this moment, he was directly thrown into the depths of space. He screamed and cursed. Hong Kuan, you bullied me. Moon Spirit and that old ghost attacked first. I didn't kill anyone. You bullied me. Heaven's pole's voice was really full of grievance. Why did you hit me? I wasn't the first to attack. Moon Spirit killed one. Heavenly King, subduing, killed one. He saw that everyone had attacked, so he tried to attack too. Who knew that he would be caught by King Kuan? This attack directly blasted him into the depths of space. Countless cracks erupted with terrifying destructive power, causing his golden body to collapse. After a long time, 10,000 meters away, Heaven's pole escaped from the cracks with a bloody body. He cursed, Hong Kuan, how dare you bully me like this? I won't rest until you die today. King Kuan's face was livid. Bully you? You wanted to kill my people, but they were no match for me. That's bullying you? He was also a domineering person, but recently he was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. One was more shameless than the other. Moon Spirit said that he bullied her. Her father was dead, and no one cared about her. They were looking for trouble with him, like crazy. Heaven's pole, that lunatic. That old thing, Heavenly King subduing, was also extremely sinister. When he saw an opportunity, he would not show mercy and directly kill a true god. In these thousands of years, he had suffered many losses in the hands of Heavenly King subduing. King Kuan's eyes were gloomy. Another 2 true gods and another venerable emperor were dead. Yes, again. In these years, how many of the 8 great protectors had died? 4 of them. How many of the 72 Lord gods had died? The information Fang Ping saw previously was that there were 25 people alive inside. There might be 14 people outside, but 5 of them might have hidden their identities and did not reveal their whereabouts. In reality, 4 of these 5 people had entered the celestial cemetery. They did have other identities, but now 1 of them had also died. In the outside world, 2 had died today, and now another 2 had died. 34. Yes, 34. More than half of the 72 Lord gods had fallen. Half of the 8,000 years of foundation had been lost. King Kuan's eyes were really cold. For a moment, he wanted to explode and kill everyone, but he knew that he could not do it. Heavenly King subduing was an old schemer. After so many years, he had not found out how strong he was. There was also the Sea Guardian, who was also extremely powerful. Another one was Li Zhu, who was suspected to be the Palm Seal user. He did not know how strong he was. King Qian, the first of the 8 kings, did not know how he was doing now. There was still one more person, the Demon Emperor. He was not too sure about this guy's strength. He felt that he had just entered the Heavenly King stage, but not necessarily. All these years, the Demon Emperor had been more mysterious than him. King Kuan did not chase after Celestial Pole. At this time, he was fighting with a Heavenly King. If Heavenly King subduing and the others found an opportunity, they would probably not mind joining forces to kill him, who asked him to be strong. He was also the first heavenly king to reveal that he had the strength of Break 7. Powerhouses were the thorns in everyone's eyes. This was the current situation. Heavenly King powerhouses were currently the strongest combat power in the three realms. When a heavenly king had the combat power to kill other heavenly kings, he would become the target of public criticism. Heavenly King subduing was also powerful, but facing two heavenly kings was extremely difficult. Therefore, everyone was wary but not too afraid. But if he really killed a heavenly king, he would soon become everyone's target. King Kuan did not attack again. Heavenly King, subduing, killed a true god as if nothing had happened. He looked at Celestial Pole and said with a smile, "Avoid it. King Kuan is too strong. His combat power of Break 7 is comparable to a celestial emperor. Find a chance to attack his subordinates. Don't attack him. Just take it as revenge." "All right." Celestial Pole nodded seriously. He was very serious and solemn. That was it. Everyone was speechless when they saw this. He was indeed crazy. The current Celestial Pole was easily bewitched. A few words could easily make him go crazy. This guy's combat power was strong, and he was together with the lunatic moon spirit. Everyone had a headache. Fortunately, these two lunatics were now targeting King Kuan. They heaved a sigh of relief. After Heavenly King, subduing, finished speaking, he looked at King Kuan and said with a smile, "Hong Kuan, it's fine if you're courting death. Don't harm us even if you're not afraid of the 7 Great Array. Aren't you trying to kill us by letting the array explode? You villain, you're indeed sinister." King Kuan was still cold. He was very angry. He was going to leave. No matter how good the treasures inside were, he didn't want them. Yenji's death was a small matter, but the great array that refined the heavenly wood was broken was a big matter. Although it hadn't been completely broken, he didn't know how his clone was doing. He wasn't dead. He would know if he died. But he didn't die. The great array being attacked was also a big matter. He didn't want the 9 Emperors' seal. He didn't want the things inside the great array either. He had to leave this place immediately. Li Xuanxia, where's the exit? Who's controlling the heaven-confining bell? Make way. I want to go out. Heavenly King, subduing, asked curiously, "What's wrong? Did someone attack your base? Your home was raided? Your descendant was beaten to death. Do you have descendants? Did you have a son after not seeing each other for so many years?" King Kuan's face was gloomy. "Don't force me." He couldn't break the divine artifact. If he could, it wouldn't be called a divine artifact. It was a divine artifact comparable to the body of an emperor. Now he wanted to leave. Heavenly King, subduing, laughed and said, "All right, I'll tell you, the heaven-confining bell isn't ours. You know whose it is? Who can control the cat's own things. You go find the cat yourself. If you find it, you'll naturally be able to leave." King Kuan frowned slightly. Was it really the cat that controlled it? Ever since the last time the cat appeared, it had disappeared without a trace. Where could he find the cat? He suspected that it wasn't the cat that controlled it, but it was indeed the cat's. It was hard to say. Now that the Heavenly King was adamant that the cat was controlling it. If he couldn't find the cat, he wouldn't be able to leave. Unless they joined hands with several Heavenly King powerhouses. When he thought of this, he looked at King Sun and King Jen. King Sun, King Jen worked together to break the heaven-confining bell. This is a trap, not a treasure trove. With several Heavenly King powerhouses working together, the heaven-confining bell could not be considered complete and flawless. There was still hope of breaking it. Heavenly King Zhen said faintly, "Something happened to your family. You want to leave, but we don't want to leave. The formation has not been broken, the 9 emperors' seal has not been found, and the 9 emperors' 4 emperors' fruit has not been found. Why should we leave?" After saying that, he smiled faintly and said, "And recently, this old man discovered that someone seems to have awakened. Now that the passageway has been broken, perhaps we will have more competitors. Didn't you sense anything in the origin universe?" Everyone's expression changed. When they heard this, King Qian said indifferently, "I can sense that some of the emperor's followers seem to be awakening." The 3 envoys, 8 kings, and 36 saints were not the entirety of the heavenly court. Some of the sovereign's disciples did not hold any positions in the heavenly court. These were just the experts in the heavenly court. Some of the emperor's disciples also had the strength of a heavenly king. However, they all died back then. Who would have thought that someone would actually awaken now? Heavenly King Zhen smiled and said, "Yes, the sovereign's disciples have awakened. Even the disciples of some beginner martial artists are awakening. Some beginner martial artists are not strong, but their disciples are not weak. Beginner martial artists are dead. They have no origin and can't be awakened. However, these people might not be walking the path of beginner martial artists. Not only that, this old man also discovered that some old antiques from back then seem to be awakening. That butler of Wildcat seems to be moving. King Kuan, you broke Wildcat's heaven confining bell. Be careful. He will find trouble with you." King Kuan's eyes instantly became sharp, and he said coldly, "That person has also awakened? How is that possible? Didn't he die in the battle of the heaven realm back then?" Heavenly King Zhen smiled and said, "How would this old man know?" "Impossible. Back then, that person was defeated by a beginner martial artist, and both sides died. That was one of the strongest beginner martial artists. How could he have a chance to awaken? Wildcat's butler, Wildcat's captain, Wildcat Tengu's guardian, strongest expert. The other party didn't die in the battle of the heaven realm. He was killed long before that. Wildcat had almost died once, so someone knew that killing Wildcat would bring disaster. The Tao of the 3 realms shook. At that time, Wildcat was attacked and killed, which also angered this strongest expert. He took out his divine artifact and crossed the Forbidden Sea, leading many Emperor Realm Masters to fight in the Forbidden Sea, destroying an incomparably huge continent. He fought with a novice martial artist for many days, and in the end, both sides fell in the Forbidden Sea. That battle was also an unforgettable battle in the ancient times. That was also the fiercest and most powerful battle before the heaven realm was destroyed. The 2 strongest experts overturned the rivers and seas, and the ancient continent was sunk. All the emperors watched the battle, but no one intervened. Whether it was Wildcat's guardian or the beginner martial artist, it had little to do with them. Who lived and who died was their business. In the end, both of them died in the Forbidden Sea. After so many years, the other party was actually awakening. King Zhen Wang smiled faintly. Who knows, maybe a wisp of origin was not destroyed back then. In any case, this old man sensed some movement. In the origin universe, a star is recovering. It's most likely him. Hong Kuan, don't think about those useless things. You broke the heaven confining bell. That guy will definitely take revenge on you. Not only him, who made the heaven confining bell. Be careful of that person. King Kuan didn't think too much about it at first, but soon he frowned and said, "God creation envoy? He's not dead." At this moment, his eyes were incomparably sharp. The God creation envoy didn't die. All these years, he had been looking for the God creation envoy. Back then, he wanted to forge a divine artifact. Heavenly wood was the best material. Did the God creation envoy not die? He wasn't afraid of the God creation envoy. This guy's strength was limited. back then, he was only at the peak of Emperor stage, close to the Saint realm. The God creation envoy's strength didn't lie in his strength, but in his ability to forge divine artifacts. If this guy didn't die, then where had he been all these years? The conversation between the two piqued the interest of the others. When King Kuan mentioned the God creation envoy, King Sun couldn't help but ask, the God creation envoy didn't die. His strength is ordinary. It is said that after he created the immortal origin, he was killed by the immortal origin. How could he not die? On the other side, Li Zhu suddenly appeared and said with a faint smile, he might not be dead. At least he has some life-saving methods. Can the person who forged the divine artifact not leave himself some tricks up his sleeves? He even casually gave away the heaven-confining bell of the gray cat. Don't you have anything of your own? As soon as he said this, King Zhenhuang laughed. If you say you're not the Palm Seal envoy, would anyone believe you? Up to you. Li Zhu didn't mind, and said with some emotion, the dead are all returning. This world was really going to be chaotic. Even the one from the Gray Cat clan had returned, and the 4 emperors were said to be recovering. Was the 9 emperors far away? Is the battle that couldn't be ended back then going to be decided in this life? Everyone was silent. The experts were all recovering. At this moment, Moon Spirit was overjoyed. Is Royal Father coming back? Good, that's great. When Royal Father returns, all of you who bullied me, don't even think about living. On the side, Heaven's Pole dragged his broken body and ran over, saying crazily, the Emperor is coming back to life? My father is coming back. All of you who bullied me, don't even think about living. Everyone almost vomited blood in anger. You 2 lunatics are a pair. Who are you talking about? Who bullied you? But they felt that they were talking about King Kuan. King Kuan, do as you see fit. King Kuan snorted and said coldly, even if that person comes back to life, so what? Do these resurrected people still have the combat power of the past? Since they can die back then, they can die now. Nearly 10,000 years have passed, and the experts from 10,000 years ago may not be experts now. In the past 10,000 years, he had made great progress. Among the people present, he might not be the only one who had improved. Even if these dead people recovered, they might not have their peak combat power. Even if they did, he wasn't afraid. King Zhenhuang couldn't be bothered with him, and said with a faint smile, I'm just reminding you, now that the heaven confining bell has been broken, this place will probably be exposed soon. Everyone, think about it. Not only have you offended the Gray Cat butler, but you also have some competitors. The 9 Emperor Seals are good stuff. Everyone's eyes flickered. 9 Emperor Seals. Divine artifact. Combined with the 8 Emperor Seals and the 36 Saint tokens, it was an even more powerful divine artifact. Suppress the world. Now, was he going to break the heaven-confining bell? Seeing this, King Kuan's face became even colder. Obviously, these guys were not prepared to go out now. Even if they knew that this place might be a trap, they still refused to leave. Normally, he wouldn't be in a hurry, but now he was really a little anxious. Forget it. Once the 9 Emperor Seals were found, these people would not stay any longer and would soon leave. King Kuan was secretly angry. The array had not been broken, and his clone was still here. He had to wait a little longer. What happened in the Divine Court? Who killed Yanji? At this moment, King Kuan was furious, but there was nothing he could do. If he had known earlier, he would have stayed in the Divine Court and continued to refine the heavenly wood and comprehend the great Tao of the Celestial Emperor. In the end, he was trapped. Time was very tight. Those people were actually recovering. He was also a little shocked and anxious. Before they awaken, he must have the absolute strength to crush them. Seeing that King Kuan no longer said to leave, King Zhenhuang secretly heaved a sigh of relief. It was not easy to get them in. How could he let them leave just like that? Also, those guys were actually recovering. King Zhenwang's heart was also filled with thousands of thoughts. Did the experts deliberately kill them back then? Or did they really not completely kill them? Not to mention others. He had also watched the battle on the Forbidden Sea. Both sides fought into the eighth heaven and died in the eighth heaven. There was no corpse left, and the Forbidden Sea was roaring. How did they recover? Who had secretly protected that person's strand of origin power? If they are alive, then, so be it. Don't mess around with the cat. King Zhenwang suddenly had a headache. The cat without a backer was much more low-key, but with a backer, it was hard to say. The heavenly hound was not dead, but the cat was very troublesome. The heavenly hound was dead, and the cat ran to sleep, refusing to come out. The guy who protected the cat was dead. In those years, the heavenly hound was not strong, and the cat was actually much more low-key. Now that this person had returned, the three realms would probably be in chaos again. King Zhenwang suddenly glanced at the Sea Guardian in the distance. At this moment, the Sea Guardian also sensed it. He looked back and saw the Sea Guardian's sympathetic eyes. Suddenly, his eyes became sharp, piercing through the void, and even a six-petal black lotus appeared. If the cat dares to come looking for me again, I will not let it go. The Sea Guardian was sullen. King Zhenwang shrugged. I didn't say anything. What are you afraid of? Even if the guy who protected the cat came back alive, he might not come looking for trouble. With your old body, the other party might not think of fishing now. This attitude made the Sea Guardian even more angry and annoyed. Back then, when that guy was still alive, he often found trouble with him. Fortunately, he was also a person with a background. The identity of the Sea Guardian was not simple. Now, he had actually revived again. The Sea Guardian snorted. 10,000 years had passed. Who was afraid of who? Did he think it was back then? Chapter 10, 95. Continuing to post for 3 to 5 months was fine, but after a year, Old Eagle was extremely tired. After posting, the average number of updates per day was no less than 18,000. It was too tiring. In the past few days, the updates had been unstable. One reason was that in the later stages, it was harder to write, and the other was that his spirit was lacking and he couldn't keep up. Thus, from now on, he would do his best to maintain 3 updates every day. If he couldn't do that, he could only do 2 updates. Everyone, don't wait until midnight. Look at it the next day. Be considerate. My body is so weak that if I can do 3 updates, I'll definitely do 3 updates. That's all I have to say. Otherwise, everyone will keep saying that it's getting later and later. I really don't have the strength to opening a chapter on global high martial arts to discuss a few updates. Currently typing, please wait a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. Chapter 1096. In Skywood Forest, the wind and clouds surged. In the sky, blood rain poured down. The great path collapsed, and the strange phenomenon was terrifying. Thunder, and the others were also extremely surprised. Had he died? Everyone's eyes changed. Although Yan Ji was seriously injured just now, he should not have died just like that, right? What's going on? Thunder's face changed, and he suddenly fell down. The others did the same. Ground Oddity said. As he flew above 10,000 feet, the Emperor rank is in danger of dying. Just now, did Yan Ji go above 10,000 feet? Everyone's eyes flickered. It seemed so. Usually, they could not go up at all. But just now, they easily went up. Yan Ji was directly hit above 10,000 feet. Wasn't this too easy? Not only that, at this moment, above 10,000 feet, lightning flashed and thunder roared. The deafening rumbles continued without end. It seemed that it was not just because of Yan Zhi's death. Everyone quickly descended and began to move away from the huge tree. Danger! Even if they did not see or sense anything, they could sense the source of danger. Skywood Forest. Skywood, this seemed to be the source of danger. An emperor rank actually died. So easily. Even if he was seriously injured, for an emperor rank, even if he was injured, his vitality was still strong. How could he die so easily? Far away from Skywood Forest, everyone looked at each other, their eyes solemn. Fang Ping, too. He was not surprised by Yan Zhi's death, but curious. What happened in the sky? At this moment, high up in the sky, the world seemed to dim. The rumbling sound did not stop. Cracks appeared in the void, and vaguely, everyone seemed to see something. A huge chessboard? Did they see it wrong? Fang Ping's eyes flickered. The scene was just a flash, but did he really see it wrong? What was that? He seemed to see something. On the chessboard, the black and white chess pieces were clearly separated, as if two armies were fighting. At this moment, the chess pieces seemed to be bleeding. This was not important. What was important was that in the center of the chessboard that flashed and disappeared, there was a small tree protected by the white chess pieces. Was that Skywood? The small tree was very small, but there was a golden fruit growing at the top. Fang Ping really saw it. Not only him. At this moment, Thunder Emperor's eyes were also shining, looking at the void, a little shocked. What did he see just now? A chessboard? A game? Who is playing chess? He didn't pay much attention to the small tree. It wasn't too prominent and was surrounded by white chess pieces, so he couldn't see it clearly. However, no matter what, the fact that such a scene had appeared above the heavenly wood forest was simply too astonishing, not to mention the fact that a venerable sovereign had just died in the 100,000 feet. What's up there? Someone murmured among the crowd. There was nervousness, fear, and excitement. Was there a fortuitous opportunity? Danger often represented opportunity. As the number one ancient tree and one of the three great treasured lands of the divine court, very few people managed to obtain fortuitous encounters in the heavenly wood forest. The strongest one managed to obtain a true divine weapon, but he still had to refine it himself. But now, there seemed to be an even greater opportunity waiting for them. Everyone was looking forward to it, but they were afraid to step forward. Venerable Sovereign had died. Fang Ping was also thinking about this. At this moment, Tianmu's slightly anxious voice rang out in his mind. Lure Thunder and the others away. Let him away. Quick. Tianmu's tone was very anxious. At this moment, it was fighting with the Kuan King's clone. It had caught the Kuan King off guard and caused a corner of the array to explode. But the Kuan King's clone was very powerful. At this moment, Tianmu's situation was very subtle. It was still fighting with the Kuan King. But there were many divine court powerhouses below, including a venerable sovereign. Once these people rushed up and saw the Kuan King's clone, with the deterrence of the Kuan King, they might soon become his helpers. These people would win, but they might also lose. Luring these people to the heavenly wood forest was a double-edged sword. But Tianmu still took a gamble. Moreover, with the King of Man here, it felt that it had a chance. Fang Ping was not in a hurry. He felt that Tianmu was hiding too many things about itself. It was not good for him to be too passive. He said lightly, Tianmu, shouldn't you tell me something? Otherwise, I won't be able to speak to a venerable sovereign here. Tianmu cursed in his heart. Soon, he said, I'm fighting with the Kuan King's clone above 100,000 feet. The Kuan King's clone is extremely powerful, close to the strength of a saint. I don't have the heart to care about anything else. This time, to fulfill my young friend's request, I'm prepared to kill this clone and condense a spiritual consciousness crystal. The Heavenly King's clone is close to the strength of a saint. It can definitely condense a spiritual consciousness crystal that is comparable to a saint powerhouse. Fong Ping snorted. Do you think I'm an idiot? And you're killing people for my request. Of course, he was too lazy to expose him. At this moment, Fong Ping's heart was also slightly moved. The Kun King's clone, close to the strength of a saint, if he killed it, he could condense a saint-level spiritual consciousness crystal. Fong Ping was very tempted. Saint-level spiritual consciousness crystal was theoretically useful even for an emperor level. Of course, Fong Ping's brain injury was too serious. He needed a more powerful spiritual consciousness crystal. Saint level was very helpful for desperate realm injuries. His brain was at the pinnacle of the world. This is good stuff. But Fong Ping soon felt his teeth ache, close to the strength of a saint, and it was a Heavenly King powerhouse's clone. Its true combat strength might have really reached the saint realm. Heavenly Wood, this old antique, was deceiving him. It definitely had the combat strength of a saint. Of course, Fong Ping soon felt relieved. Who would tell you the truth the first time they met? Those who did this were all idiots. They would not be able to cultivate to this level either. Old Wood, can you kill him? Fong Ping's way of addressing him changed. Heavenly Wood did not have time to care about this. He said quickly, "It's difficult. Young friend, you must bring Thunder and the others away immediately. Otherwise, once they enter, the Kun King will definitely be a deterrent to them. One more venerable emperor, many true gods. Today will be the day I die. If I die, the Kun King's strength will increase greatly. No one in the three realms will be able to stop him. The human race is in danger." This had escalated to the safety of the human race. Fong Ping knew that he was being alarmist, but he also understood that it was not entirely a lie. If the Kun King was really so powerful that he was fearless, then the human race was indeed dangerous. As for why killing Heavenly Wood would make him stronger, Fong Ping thought of the small tree and the golden fruit he saw just now. There was no time to think too much. If Heavenly Wood was really done for, this old fellow would definitely sell him out. If it was Fong Ping himself, even if there was a glimmer of hope, he would still drag someone down with him. Anyway, they were not very familiar with each other. They just got to know each other. If they treated each other as confidants, then he would just wait for death. Seeing that the roar in the sky was getting louder and louder, Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He quickly transmitted his voice to Di Fei. "Father, my divine weapon has been destroyed. Both our divine weapons have been destroyed. This place is dangerous. Why don't we leave first? Now that Yan Ji has been killed, Di Fei was also badly injured. Even if he felt that there was an opportunity in the sky, he knew that his chances of seizing it were not high. Now that he heard what his son said and knew that his son's divine weapon was also destroyed, there was no hope at all. Fong Ping looked at Di Xing, Di Gu, and Di Ping again. These three were not strong. They were also injured earlier. At this moment, they were still staring at the sky. It seemed that they wanted to seize the opportunity. Fong Ping hurriedly transmitted his voice. "Uncles, we are injured, and our strength is not as good as Guardian Thunder. Even if we really go to the sky now, the probability of us dying is higher than the probability of seizing the opportunity. Why don't we return to the God Court first and make a long-term plan? Now there is only Dark Earth Lord in the God Court. Uncles, have you forgotten the existence of the God Court army? There are hundreds of thousands of God Court army. Once they seize control, they can even defeat many true gods if they join forces and use joint attack tactics." As soon as he said that, everyone's expression changed. Yes, the God Court army. The commander of the God Court army, Di Jia, was dead. But the God Court army was still there. If these people fought against a true God alone, they would be courting death. However, there were many powerhouses in the God Court army. When they used joint attack tactics, they could fight against a true God. Just like when Fang Ping arrived at the entrance, the God Court army was there to defend against true gods. Once they encountered a true God, they could fight against a true God powerhouse if they joined forces. And the God Court army could gather at least 5 or more teams like this. They quickly communicated. Yanji was dead. Now it was time to seize power. As for Thunder and the others, as long as they were here, they could forget about getting the treasure. Moreover, was there really a treasure? The frequent cracks in the sky were extremely dangerous. Maybe it was not a treasure, but a dangerous place. The 5 true gods, including Fang Ping, made a decision almost instantly. Leave. Di Fei said quickly. Lord Thunder, Brother Ground Qi, we are seriously injured. We should not stay here for long. Let's return to the God City first. As soon as he finished speaking, the 5 true gods left quickly. Seeing that, Ground Qi frowned slightly, but soon smiled and said, Let's go together. These people actually wanted to get rid of him. That would not do. He was no match for a venerable emperor alone. Lord, seeing that they had all left, the true God under Thunder's command glanced at true Lord Thunder, a little uneasy. Should he stay? He felt a crisis, a fatal crisis. Today, even a venerable emperor had died. He was also afraid of death. Thunder was about to speak when he suddenly frowned and looked into the distance. There, a powerful aura was rising. Then he looked at the skywood forest. There was an opportunity, but it was very dangerous. Earth King Palace, skywood forest. The danger of the Earth King Palace was visible, but this was invisible. The unknown was more dangerous, not to mention that he was not sure what the danger was. If Fang Ping and the others were still here, he might want to give it a try. If he had to die, it would be these weaklings first. But now that they had all run away, he did not want any accidents to happen here. Fengyan is back. Thunder looked into the distance, his eyes flashing. The hidden people had all returned this time. Yan Ji was killed as soon as he returned, and Di Jia, the obstacle, was also killed. Now, he only had one real enemy, Taoist Fengyun. As long as he killed Taoist Fengyun, he could break through the Earth King Palace with peace of mind, or join forces. Fengyun was a little strange. He had many tricks up his sleeves, including escape methods. Maybe he could join forces and try. After all, the Earth King Palace was still in danger. Compared to Yan Ji, Fengyun was more low-key and seemed easier to get along with. If I really can't work together, then I'll join forces with Ground Qi and the others to kill Fengyun. Thunder had a plan in his mind. He looked into the sky again, listened to the loud roar, and turned to leave without saying anything. Seeing this, the subordinate heaved a sigh of relief. If Ground Qi and the others ran away, he was really afraid that Venerable Sovereign would go up. At that time, he would definitely be the one to explore the way, and that would be dangerous. After a while, on the way, Thunder Venerable Sovereign stopped. Not far away, an illusory figure flickered. Thunder, is Yanji dead? Even now, the sky above the divine court was still raining blood. The death of a venerable sovereign had a great impact. Dead, Thunder said indifferently, I didn't kill him. He died in the Skywood Forest. There was an accident above the Skywood Forest, and there might be an opportunity. Yan Ji accidentally entered it and died. When it came to opportunities, he did not hide it. It was best that Fengyun was gone. It was even better that he died there. In this way, it would save him a lot of trouble. Above the Skywood Forest, Fengyun also felt the power from the Skywood Forest. The void there seemed to be broken, and it was extremely terrifying. Taoist Fengyun's eyes flashed, and he quickly said, "Since Yan Ji died here, we can only wait for the sect leader to return to investigate. Thunder, I have something important to say. Return to the God City immediately and hold a meeting of the gods." Something happened. Something happened. Thunder was shocked to hear this. What had happened? Fengyan did not even ask about Yan Ji's death. Something big must have happened. Thunder did not say anything more. He quickly said, "Okay, let's go." The three of them hurried toward the God City. At the same time, Fang Ping and the others also arrived at the God City. As soon as they arrived, Dark Earth Lord in the city did not say a word. He leaped into the air and left. He was afraid that he would be surrounded and killed in the God City. Everyone was crazy today. They would kill whoever they saw. Earthman, Earth Hero, Yan Ji, 2 gods, and 1 emperor were dead. How could he dare to stay? In the sky above the God City, seeing Dark Earth escape, Fang Ping and the others did not care about him. At this moment, Fang Ping quickly said, "Uncles, let's split up and suppress the God Court army. Quickly take control of the God Court army. Only with the God Court army can we fight against the other parties." Okay, they agreed readily. Without hesitation, they quickly flew in all directions. The God Court army guarded the God City, distributed in all directions. South God City. Fang Ping's aura shook the heavens. At this moment, a large number of God Court army soldiers were also very vigilant. Some of them looked nervous. They heard that the commander-in-chief had died. They did not know whether it was true or not, but today not only had a true god died, but also a venerable emperor had died. They were all very nervous. The God Court army was fighting. Who was the winner? When they saw Yun Sheng in the sky and his aura shaking the heavens, they seemed to understand. Previously, it should be Guardian Hua who had appeared. Now, Yun Sheng had proven his Tao, and a venerable emperor had died. Obviously, Thunder Venerable Emperor had joined forces with them to kill Yan Ji and Earth Hero. Now, the winner was here. Sir, on the God Court army's side, a middle-aged powerhouse with a strong aura vaguely had the power of a half-step true god. When he saw Fang Ping leaping into the air, his aura shaking the heavens and the earth, he hurriedly shouted, "Sir, this is the God Court army's base. Without the commander-in-chief's order, no one is allowed to cross the border." Not only that, more than 20 rank 9 powerhouses behind him unleashed their auras, ready to instantly combine their combat techniques. Yun Sheng had just proven his Tao, so they were not necessarily afraid of him. Still, they dared not offend him recklessly. Yun Sheng might not be the only winner of the God Court army. At this moment, they also felt the aura of powerhouses coming from all directions. There were a total of 6 true god powerhouses. Fang Ping did not waste any time, saying lightly, "Surrender or die. Earth Hero is dead. Do you want to be buried with him?" "Sir," a glint of grief and indignation flashed in the middle-aged powerhouse's eyes. The commander-in-chief was really dead. Despite his grief and indignation, he suppressed his anger and said, "Sir, the God Court army is under the direct command of the sect leader. In the God Court army, no one is allowed to," Fang Ping said lightly, "Earth Hero can die, but anyone can." As he spoke, a roar came from the north. Ground Qi snorted coldly, his voice echoing in all directions. "By the order of Thunder Guardian, we have taken over the God Court army. The order has been passed down. Those who disobey, kill." He was a near-emperor powerhouse. Even if these people joined forces to fight a true god, they would be the weakest kind. Going against him was courting death. From afar, the crowd saw this scene. Di Qi slammed his palm down and smashed a giant to the ground. Under the shocked eyes of the crowd, Di Qi smashed the giant into pieces. Countless experts around him coughed up blood. Ground Chi did not go all out, but he showed no mercy to the giant. He grabbed it in his hand and crushed it into pieces with a bang. That was a commander-in-chief. The other party was unwilling to surrender, so Ground Chi did not waste any time and killed him directly. Although the other party was the commander-in-chief, and killing him would reduce the power of the joint attack, the others could still use the joint attack. It was not a big deal to lose a rank. 9. Ground Chi established his authority. This side was easy. On Fang Ping's side, the middle-aged commander-in-chief lowered his head even if he was unwilling. He instantly half-knelt on the ground and said loudly, "The southern part of the God Court army is willing to surrender to you, sir. I, Zhou Lin, will follow your orders." The God Court army had many battalions. The north, south, east, west, including the core area, the central battalions that guarded the Earth King's Hall, and the battalions that guarded the door were all very powerful. At this moment, the southern part chose to surrender. Not only this side, the few true gods on the other sides also quickly subdued the four sides. Fang Ping did not waste any time. His palm suddenly became extremely huge. It was not a real palm, but condensed energy. South, come up. The Southern God Court army had tens of thousands of people, but they were all high ranks. Fang Ping did not care about the middle and low ranks. Subduing the other party was not a matter of words. He had to bring the other party away. Otherwise, once the others returned, the probability of these fellows rebelling was not low. Zhou Lin did not say much. He stepped into the air and shouted, "South, listen up!" In the next moment, these high-ranked martial artists stepped into the air and walked onto Fang Ping's palm. Fang Ping brought these people with him and flew toward the ground at high speed. This time, the Yun family was the big winner. Of course, that was if Yun Sheng was still alive. A moment later, Thunder and the others returned. After sensing for a while, Thunder let out a cold humph. Taoist Fengyun did not say anything. The God Court army was powerful, but it was only relative. These people could deal with the other party's ordinary true gods. For the Emperor ranks, the God Court army had the combat strength of a true god after a joint attack. After all, they were not real true gods. When their aura exploded, it could kill countless people. These people were no threat to Emperor ranks. Unless Earthly Hero led these people and performed a joint attack, they had the combat strength of an Emperor rank. Fengyun did not care about this, saying quickly, "Thunder, these are small matters. Now that the God Court army is on the brink of life and death, we can't cause any more trouble." Thunder, Venerable Emperor, did not reply. He looked around, his mentality fluctuating rapidly. "Ground Chi, Ground Fei, come to the God Court army quickly for a meeting." He did not mention Yun Sheng at first, but quickly added, "Yun Sheng comes too." Yun Sheng's combat strength was not weak. Although his true divine weapon was destroyed in the end, his strength was not weaker than Ground Xing and the others. Strength was everything. Since he had this strength, he was qualified to participate in this. Ground Fei's mansion. This time, Fang Ping and Ground Fei did not go to Ground Chi's mansion. Ground Fei's mansion was also very big. At this time, the father and son did not have time to communicate. They had just settled the God Court army's side and inserted Yun, he, and the other direct descendants when they received Thunder's voice transmission. Ground Fei glanced at Fang Ping and said in a low voice, "Guardian Thunder has given an order. I sense Guardian Fengyun's aura. The two venerable emperors have returned. Be careful later. Don't speak rashly. Although Ground Chi has his own thoughts, he is powerful. Ground Chi is everything." Subconsciously, he was telling Fang Ping to let Ground Chi take the lead, and they could just hide behind. 6 true gods joined forces. Even if they did not want to join forces now, they were naturally on the same side. In the face of two venerable emperors, no one wanted to be a pawn or abandoned. They could only join forces. Fang Ping nodded, but in his heart he muttered, Taoist Fengyan came back very quickly. Coming back now. Could it be that he was preparing to join forces to open the Earth King's Hall? Also, he had seen Taoist Fengyan before. He had to be careful later. This guy had some tricks up his sleeve. The appearance of the Three Realms Fengyan list previously was mostly due to this guy. Taoist Fengyan was really traveling the three realms. Maybe he had been to Earth. He also knew Fang Ping's ability. It was different from what others had heard. He had seen it for himself. Last time when Fang Ping spoke, he had been listening at the side. If there was any abnormality, it would be easy for him to find out. Be careful. Two emperors. Fang Ping thought to himself, and hurriedly sent a voice transmission to Heavenly Wood. Guardian Fengyan has returned. Maybe he wants to discuss the Skywood Forest. In case he finds out, I'll send you into the Sanjiao Gate. Heavenly Wood did not say anything. Indeed, he had to be careful. Right now, he was also in a very tense situation. Of course, far away from the Skywood Forest, the clone could no longer sense the situation of the battle. But he did not disintegrate, which meant that his main body was still safe. He was afraid that the two venerable emperors here would really join forces. Fang Ping communicated with Heavenly Wood while flying toward the center of God City, with Ground Fei. The God's Parliament was not in the Kuan Palace, but it was not far from it. And this time, Fang Ping also had the opportunity to peek at the Kuan Palace. The moment he levitated and neared the Kuan Palace, Fang Ping's body suddenly trembled. He felt something, a ferocious aura. He had seen it before. No, or rather, a cat had evolved it before. Back then, Old Cat said that Cat Tree was afraid of the Heavenly Hound. So he had evolved the appearance of the Heavenly Hound. A powerhouse with its head facing the sky, Fang Ping could not call it a dog. It was really too domineering beyond compare, ferocious beyond compare. That was the Heavenly Hound. At that time, there was also that kind of aura overflowing. Right now, Fang Ping looked at the incomparably huge palace, as if he could vaguely feel this aura. The Heavenly Hound is really here. Fang Ping's heart trembled. Was the Heavenly Hound dead or not? Old Cat said that the Heavenly Hound was either dead or not. If there was a corpse, then it was either fake or the Heavenly Hound was still alive. But all these years, Old Cat had not sensed the Heavenly Hound's existence. Was the Heavenly Hound's corpse in the palace? Chapter 1097. Shang, are you okay? True Lord Earthfly noticed that Fang Ping's footsteps were a little sluggish. He turned around to take a look. Fang Ping suppressed the palpitation in his heart, looked at the Kunwang Hall, and transmitted his voice. It's nothing. It's just, I heard that there's. He wanted to say something, but he hesitated and didn't say it out loud. Who knew if Di Fei had mentioned the news he had heard? True Lord Earthfly, on the other hand, was not too concerned. He also sent a voice transmission. The celestial Thearcha's remains should be in the hall. Back then, I saw it from afar once. Even though it's just his remains, the aura it exudes is extremely powerful. Ordinary true gods would feel their golden bodies being torn apart when they approach it. However, I'm not sure if Cult Master took it with him. Even though the Heavenly Hound was only left with its skeleton, its aura was still too strong. An ordinary storage ring would not be able to fit inside, as it would easily cause the space within the storage ring to collapse. However, Di Fei did not know if King Kuan had any other methods. Almost all the Divine Masters knew that the remains of the Heavenly Hound were in the Divine Sect. However, Most of them didn't know much about it. They didn't have the chance to come into contact with it, and could only look at it from afar. Celestial Arch. Fong Ping's face was full of yearning as he muttered, "When will I be able to reach the realm of the Celestial Emperor?" Di Fei laughed. His son was ambitious, but the Sky Emperor was a powerhouse even more powerful than the 8 kings. He was known as the #1 under the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors. He was also the strongest expert in the 3 realms after the celestial realm was destroyed. In the era when the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors disappeared, the Heavenly Hound was the strongest. In that era, the Tengu was the symbol of invincibility, and Di Fei had lived through that era. At this moment, speaking of the Heavenly Hound, Di Fei was also filled with emotions. After the Heaven Realm was destroyed, the 3 realms were in chaos for more than 1,000 years. At that time, the Heavenly Emperor and Emperor Tsang offended many people in the Heavenly Court. The 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors who had protected them had all disappeared. It was said that before the Heaven Realm was destroyed, the supreme expert who had protected Emperor Tsang had also fallen. In those thousands of years, the 2 emperors were troubled by many people. However, the Celestial Arch brought along the Arch-Tsang and slaughtered his way through. In those thousands of years, there were even sages who died in the hands of the Celestial Arch. Among the 36 saints, it is said that some of them perished in the hands of the Celestial Emperor. They are existences capable of killing saints. Not even a heavenly king could kill a sage, but Heavenly Hound did it. When the Heaven Realm had just been shattered, there were still many experts in the 3 realms. The Heavenly Hound had offended countless people, but the Heavenly Hound had fought for more than 100 years, from the Overlord Realm all the way to the Saint Realm. In the end, they ended up killing a saint, scaring everyone away, and no one chased after them anymore. Di Fei also sighed when he mentioned the past. At that time, the Divine Court was already established. I had just entered the Divine Court. Originally, the Divine Court didn't only have 3 great sect protectors and 8 guardians at that time. There were actually more guardians than now. There was also a sect protector who had just entered the Saint Realm. In the end, they all died in the hands of the Sky Emperor in the chaos. Of course, the guardian of the divine sect who died was only a novice sage. Later, the Sky Emperor killed the strongest of the 36 sages, which stopped the killing. Fong Ping really knew nothing about this part of history. After the Heavenly Realm was destroyed, there was a period of chaos. It lasted for a long time, about 1,000 or 2,000 years. Only after that did the earthly sovereign's clone appear. A false sovereign appeared, suppressing the 3 realms and stopping the war. The Divine Court lasted for about 3,000 years, until the War of the Earthly Emperor God dynasty broke out, and the Divine Court was destroyed. After that, a brief era of sects began. It was also short-lived. Soon, the remaining forces of the Earthly Emperor God dynasty, the 4 majestic halls, ruled the land, which lasted for more than 2,000 years. This was the history of the past 8,000 years after the Heavenly Realm was destroyed. Fong Ping thought about it and felt that it was not a big problem. He said again, "I'm very curious about the Sky Emperor and the Sky Emperor. Do you know their specific stories, Father?" Di Fei laughed. "I don't know much either. You also know that I achieved Tao at the end of the chaotic era. At that time, compared to these powerhouses, I was just an insignificant ant. It was difficult for us to understand the matters of the big shots. At the end of the chaotic era, the Demon Emperor God dynasty was established. During that time, the Sky Emperor and the Sky Emperor did not appear many times. It was not until the end of the Demon Emperor God dynasty that the Sky Emperor God dynasty came out, tore the void, and descended upon the Demon Emperor God dynasty. Only then did the 3 realms remember these 2. As Di Fei spoke, There was some yearning in his eyes. I know quite a bit about this matter. That year, before the demon emperor's identity was exposed, the Sky Emperor tore the void and descended upon the God dynasty. At that time, the God dynasty suppressed the three realms and was extremely powerful. They had more venerable emperors than the divine sex. The Sky Emperor's arrival caused many venerable emperors to be dissatisfied. There were even saints who tried to expel him. However, that time, the Sky Emperor displayed his ultimate strength again. He swallowed a saint in one gulp and crushed him to death. The three realms were shocked. The Sky Emperor provoked the Demon Emperor in the God dynasty. You have to know that at that time, no one knew that the Demon Emperor was not the earthly emperor. It was terrifying to provoke an emperor. Fang Ping could imagine. It was too domineering. The heavenly hound descended upon the earthly emperor's God dynasty and swallowed a saint directly. At that time, the earthly emperor's avatar was in the God dynasty. It swallowed a person in front of an emperor. Fang Ping's eyes suddenly flickered. Although the heavenly hound and the old cat were mischievous, according to the old cat, other than eating fish, they rarely killed. Even if they ate the fish, they didn't really eat the demonic beasts. For example, although the descendants of the sea guardian were made into steamed fish head with diced hot red peppers, a fish head was still a fish head. If it was cut, the fish might not die. The heavenly hound and the old cat ate monsters and liked sustainable development. Moreover, these two in the heavenly realm did not seem to have a bad relationship with the earthly emperor. However, why did the heavenly hound appear and directly eat a saint? This was obviously a sign of falling out with him. Could it be that the heavenly hound went to find trouble? It was difficult to explain these past events unless it was the person involved. Fang Ping continued to listen. Di Fei did not care about this and continued. At that time, the powerhouses of the three realms thought that the Sky Emperor would definitely die. Who knew that the Demon Emperor did not make a move? Of course, now everyone knows that the earthly emperor's avatar was probably not a match for the Sky Emperor. Fang Ping nodded slightly, thinking again. Di Fei called the earthly emperor's avatar Demon Emperor. Demon Emperor. This was a belittling title. This was King Kuan's father. Even if it was just an avatar, as a subordinate of King Kuan, he could not simply call him that. This was the first time Fang Ping noticed this. What did this mean? The evil sect did not recognize the existence of the earthly emperor's avatar. King Kuan might have even taken the initiative to mention it. Otherwise, this would not have happened. The Sky Emperor devoured a saint and stared at the heavenly court from afar for a long time. Then he broke through the sky and did not stay. At that time, it shocked the three realms. Not long after, the Sky Emperor was going to go on a long journey to find the Sky Cemetery. Fang Ping knew what happened after that. The heavenly hound bid farewell to the old cat and led some venerable emperors and saints to find the Sky Cemetery. Along the way, there were many dangers and countless deaths and injuries. After that, they found the Sky Cemetery. The heavenly hound entered the Sky Cemetery and seemed to have fought with the heavens. In the end, he died in a bloodbath. The evil sect's apologist brought his body back and sent it to the King Kuan Palace. Fang Ping nodded slightly and asked curiously, "What about Emperor Sky?" Emperor Sky? Di Fei was about to speak when true Lord Di Qi flew over and said with a smile, "After the Sky Emperor died, Emperor Sky appeared." No, after the Demon Emperor dynasty's battle, Emperor Sky appeared. Before that, I'm afraid Emperor Sky had been in a deep sleep. When the heavenly hound and the old cat said goodbye, the old cat was still sleeping. At that time, he had a premonition that the war with the Earth Emperor dynasty was about to break out. Therefore, the old cat fell asleep. It was also at that time that the heavenly hound went to the sky cemetery and died. When the old cat woke up, it was after the Earth Emperor dynasty was destroyed and the sect had just risen. Fong Ping knew everything that happened after that. When the sect was established, the old cat went to the unfinished Quokang Mountain and went fishing. At the same time, he came into contact with unquestionable Jian, who was still weak at that time, and began to bring unquestionable Jian on a sightseeing tour. Di Qi was also talking about this part of history. Soon, however, Fong Ping heard something different. There seems to be something wrong with Emperor Sky's return this time. Di Qi thought about it and said, according to the relationship between Emperor Sky and the Heavenly Emperor, Emperor Sky should not be so calm when the Heavenly Emperor died. However, at that time, Emperor Sky seemed to have forgotten about the Heavenly Emperor's existence and was still playing by himself. This was somewhat unexpected. Di Fei continued, "That's right. At that time, Emperor Sky was not quite normal. The divine sect had also sent people to observe in secret. Emperor Sky seemed to have forgotten many things. Originally, it was said that Emperor Sky knew where the Sky Cemetery was, and the Lord sect leader was also tempted. However, Emperor Sky forgot everything. In addition, he was afraid of some powerhouses who were protecting Emperor Sky, so the divine sect did not do anything to him in the end. At that time, King Kuan was prepared to take down the old cat. However, the commotion would not be small. The old cat was not weak. In addition, venerable emperors like the Dragon Emperor and the North Sea Emperor were on good terms with the old cat. Once they attacked, it would probably be a big commotion. Many emperors would fight. So in the end, King Kuan gave up. Di Qi continued, "The impact of Emperor Sky coming out this time is actually very big. It was different from what the old cat said about sightseeing and relaxing." Di Qi frowned and said, "Maybe someone has been planning since the Heavenly Emperor fell. We have always suspected that Gong Yuzi is one of them. Unquestionable Jian, and Emperor Sky came into contact, and his strength improved by leaps and bounds. At that time, there was a saying that after the great chaos came the Golden Age. After the destruction of the Demon Emperor dynasty, there would be a Golden Age. This Golden Age might give birth to a supreme powerhouse. The so-called supreme powerhouses were existences who could shatter the eighth heaven. The Heavenly Emperor was dead, and the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors had disappeared. Some of the old antiques with the strength of the eighth heaven had fallen before the primordial era, while others had never appeared in the 3 realms. They had probably died of old age long ago. After the great chaos came the Golden Age. The 100 schools of thought rose, and the 10 major grotto heavens and 36 minor grotto heavens rose in the land. 2,000 years ago, the owner of the land was the 100 schools of thought. It was a blessed grotto heavens. At that time, everyone knew that the supreme powerhouse might be born in the blessed grotto heavens. Moreover, it was very likely to be a new powerhouse. Venerable Moon Spirit and Venerable Qing Tong were strong, but they had been stuck in the Saint Realm for a long time. The 3 realms powerhouses didn't think it was them. As for Emperor Tsang's appearance, at first, some people thought that North Sea was a candidate for the supreme powerhouse. North Sea's venerable emperor was very young. After he became an emperor and the heavenly realm was destroyed, he was suspected to have obtained the inheritance of Celestial Destruction Emperor, one of the extreme path celestial emperors. At that time, Emperor Tsang was close to him. According to the ancient powerhouses, Tsang Mao could see through some truths. North Sea's venerable emperor was widely recognized as a candidate who could become a supreme powerhouse. And this was related to another case. Fong Ping didn't think much about it before, but now he heard something. The destruction of Quokang Mountain. North Sea's venerable emperor almost died, and the entire Kwokang Mountain almost disappeared from the three realms. Many people were plotting. It wasn't just the divine sect. Even King Jen and King Sun were plotting in secret to kill North Sea's venerable emperor. Fang Ping sympathized with Gong Juanzi. He was miserable, but he didn't seem to have done anything. This person plotted against him, that person plotted against him. And he almost died in the space battlefield. Even if he didn't die, he would be the only one alive when he came back. The most important thing was he didn't think too much. He just felt that he was unlucky. Perhaps it was because he didn't think too much that he survived. Ignorance was bliss. Di Qi continued to narrate. Back then, unquestionable Jian appeared beside Song Mao. It was strange. It seemed like Gong Yuzi had arranged it. At that time, Purple Cap Mountain was still very far from Kwokang Mountain. During that time, Song Mao was staying at Kwokang Mountain, fishing near it and having a sumptuous meal. In the end, unquestionable Jian, Gong Yuzi's disciple, unexpectedly appeared near Kwokang Mountain. Even now, Di Qi was still puzzled. He asked doubtfully, was it an accident, or was it inevitable? Unquestionable Jian only rose in the three realms after that. Although it was sudden for him to become a true god, it was still considered peaceful. Actually, the biggest change was the death of his cultivation partner. Fang Ping nodded. The three realms knew about this. Unquestionable Jian went crazy because of his wife's death. 1,000 years ago, he started a war and killed many venerable emperors and countless true gods, creating a bloodbath. Not only that, he was also involved in the North-South War. However, Di Qi said something that Fang Ping didn't know. The sect leader once suspected that unquestionable Jian's cultivation partner's death might have been arranged by Gong Yuzi or even unquestionable Jian himself. Huh! Fang Ping was stunned. Arranged by himself? His goal was to prove his Tao, and to prove his Tao, a lot of things are needed. It's definitely not that simple. True God to Breaking 8 is so far away, there might not even be hope in 10,000 years. Di Qi said playfully, but unquestionable Jian's cultivation partner died, and he wants revenge. Emperor Sky. That's a good choice. Emperor Sky's strength isn't considered strong, but he seems to have mastered many ways to make people stronger. He knows Celestial Emperor's Dharma, and even the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors' Dharma. He might have walked out of the sky grave back then. Celestial Emperor's Tao is a dangerous Tao. Emperor Sky pursues good fortune and avoids calamity. Did he not master anything? Facts have proven that Emperor Sky really has mastered the safe way to the sky grave. This was all in hindsight. The powerhouses back then did not know this. However, on this point, more than 2,000 years ago, when unquestionable Jian came out of the sky grave and became a venerable emperor, even vaguely having the strength of a saint, the outside world had already guessed it. At that time, unquestionable Jian had just entered true god level. In the blink of an eye, he became an emperor level, and he was suspected to have hidden his strength and had the strength of a saint. As Di Qi spoke, he sneered and said, "Those fellows from the Demon Emperor fake dynasty always thought that unquestionable Jian had mastered 2 great Tao. In reality, it was more than that. The leader suspected that unquestionable Jian might have gone to the sky grave and stripped some powerhouse's great Tao. He might have mastered 3, 5, or even more great Tao. However, during that time, the leader was also busy with cultivation. The 3 great sect masters might not have been able to take down unquestionable Jian. In the end, the matter was left unsettled. Unquestionable Jian quickly disappeared after the North-South War. Hearing this, Fang Ping's gaze changed. The Demon Emperor's cultivation partner was killed. Did they arrange it themselves? Very likely. Di Qi laughed. The outside world said that someone intervened secretly, wanting to drive Unquestionable Jen crazy and make him mess up the three realms. But Unquestionable Jen was nothing at that time. Although there were rumors of powerhouses, the Divine Sect was also planning to trigger the North-South War. Once the North-South War broke out, chaos would descend, and Unquestionable Jen would not have a chance to rise. The matter of his cultivation partner was not planned by the Divine Sect. Moreover, his cultivation partner was killed at the foot of Purple Cap Mountain, not far from where Unquestionable Jen was besieged and killed. Dichi laughed deeply. This is too surprising. You have to know that when his cultivation partner was killed, Unquestionable Jen was at the scene and even participated in the battle. In the end, he made a mistake and killed his cultivation partner. What a blow it was! But Unquestionable Jen was already a true god back then. Gong Yuzi was in the mountain. There were still many true gods in Purple Cap Mountain. Who would make a move at this time? Fong Ping was also stunned for a moment. That was true. Why did they have to make a move here? Now that I think about it, some things are actually more obvious. Dichi laughed. That's because they could only make a move here, because this is their home ground. At that time, Emperor Sky and Unquestionable Jen were on good terms. Once Unquestionable Jen left the mountain, Emperor Sky would appear, but when Unquestionable Jen returned to the mountain, Emperor Sky would not appear. He doesn't like to go to Purple Cap Mountain. The old cat said that it did not like Gong Yuzi. This fellow was always scheming, so it almost never went to Purple Cap Mountain. After Dichi said that, Fong Ping felt a sudden realization. When Unquestionable Jen returned to the mountain, the old cat would not appear to ambush him. Otherwise, if the old cat appeared, even if there was an emperor-level attack, there was a high chance that they would not be able to do anything to them. Forget emperor-level. Fong Ping suspected that even saints or even heavenly kings might not be able to kill Unquestionable Jen's wife. The old cat was not considered powerful. It seemed to be just emperor level, but it had many divine weapons. Not only did it have many divine weapons, but it also had many tricks, often beyond one's expectations. But Fong Ping suddenly thought of something. Outsiders did not seem to know how many divine weapons the old cat had. They all knew that it had the sky gong and the divine peeking mirror. However, the divine peeking mirror had been broken back then. In everyone's impression, the fragments were not with the old cat. Only the sky gong was still there. However, the sky gong did not have a very strong attack power. The old cat had also shown a few divine weapons, but they were all lent to others. It only kept a fishing rod for itself, but others might not know that the fishing rod was a divine weapon. Those who knew, Unquestionable Jen, because they knew the old cat's tricks and knew that the old cat had many divine weapons, they felt that the old cat was not easy to deal with. Hearing this, even Fong Ping was suspicious. Back then, when Unquestionable Jen's Taoist partner was attacked, was it really someone who schemed against them, self-directed and self-acted? As an actor, bah, a thoughtful powerhouse, Fong Ping also felt that this was like a show when he put himself in the shoes of the old cat. A big show for the old cat to watch. As for whether Unquestionable Jen was an actor or someone who did not know, it was hard to prove now. But he had indeed won the old cat's sympathy. The old cat gave him a chance to take revenge by letting him go to the sky cemetery. Hence, the rise of the Devil Emperor later. In the past, Fong Ping really did not think about this. Today, he could not help but think more. As he thought about it, Fong Ping said again, "Lord Ground Chi, can you tell me about true Lord Divine Foresight?" Divine Foresight? Ground Chi was a little surprised, but he still smiled and said, "This person is also considered an anomaly. Actually, true Lord Divine Foresight also has a background. He might not even know it himself. True Lord Divine Foresight's ancestor was a member of Emperor Sky Palace. His title was Emperor Fushan. Of course, he also had another title. He was the brushing general that Emperor Sky mentioned. However, in the ancient times, before the heavenly realm was destroyed, Emperor Fushan was said to have participated in a great battle and died in the Bitter Sea. The Divine Sect has done some investigations on these people around Emperor Sky. True Lord Divine Foresight is indeed a descendant of Emperor Fushan, although the bloodline is a little old. I'm afraid there are not many people who know this. The sect leader is experienced and knowledgeable, so he could recognize it. The others might not really know. However, Gong Yuzi might not be unaware. Ground Chi laughed. Gong Yuzi insisted on True Lord Divine Foresight to be the brushing general for Emperor Sky. It might not be a coincidence. Maybe it was a test or to appease Emperor Sky. Emperor Sky might not remember Emperor Fushan, and he might not know that True Lord Divine Foresight is his descendant. However, it is said that Emperor Fushan took care of Emperor Sky in every possible way. After that, he even fought a bloody battle for Emperor Sky and died in the Bitter Sea. If his descendant appears near Emperor Sky, even if Emperor Sky doesn't know, he will be more kind. A trap. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly felt that it was really a trap. The birth of the Demon Emperor was a trap from the beginning to the end. It was not a trap that was set up after the death of Unquestionable's swordsmanship partner. It was not an accident that Cat met Unquestionable. After Heavenly Dog died, someone set their eyes on Cat. Maybe Gong Juanzi was the real protagonist of that era. However, someone used Unquestionable to replace Gong Juanzi's position. Otherwise, according to normal development, the masters of the 10 Grotto Heavens were close to the Saint Realm. If Cat gave him a divine weapon and imparted some 9 emperors and 4 emperor-level cultivation methods and combat techniques, Gong Juanzi might become a saint very soon. Moreover, he would be a powerful saint. Even the Demon Emperor could become a saint when he went to the Sky Cemetery. If Gong Juanzi, a powerhouse with the strength of a saint, went there, he might become a heavenly king very soon, breaking 7 or even 8. Someone is playing chess, setting up a trap, and replacing the position of the protagonist. Fong Ping sighed in his heart. If this was not done by the evil sect, then who was it? Was it Gong Yuzi? However, Gong Yuzi was only an emperor level now. It might not be him. Maybe he was just a part of it. Other heavenly kings. Not necessarily. If it was really other heavenly kings, it wouldn't be Unquestionable who went to the Sky Cemetery. It would be those heavenly kings. Who's scheming against Cat? Fong Ping narrowed his eyes. All of this was built on the foundation of Cat. Someone was scheming against this Cat. They had been scheming against it since the heavenly emperor died. Did Cat know? It said that after Unquestionable's wife died, Unquestionable was no longer that unquestionable. Fong Ping remembered that Cat seemed to have said this before. Did it realize something? The last time, Cat seemed to be very calm when it saw Unquestionable. It did not have much of a reaction. This was different from what Cat said about missing Unquestionable. The Unquestionable that Cat missed was probably the Unquestionable who accompanied it on a sightseeing trip. This is getting more and more interesting. Fong Ping sneered in his heart. There might be someone behind Unquestionable, and he reincarnated to escape from this person's sight. Cat said that Unquestionable would not reincarnate. Unquestionable was already very powerful. Why did he reincarnate? Could it be that he had no choice but to reincarnate to avoid the person in the dark? The truth will come to light very soon. Now that everything that should appear was about to appear, Fong Ping believed that everything would be revealed very soon. As for himself, At that time, he would also need to possess the corresponding strength. He had to settle the evil sect, destroy the Kuan King's clone, mend the brain core, and even swallow the fruit of heavenly wood to make himself stronger. This was what he had to do next, before old Zhang, and the rest broke the fake sky cemetery. Fang Ping had to be invincible in the 3 realms, at least for now. Only then could he do what he wanted to do. I have to get to work. Maybe I can take this opportunity to wipe out the evil sect in one fell swoop. Fang Ping was ambitious. He wanted to prove his Tao as soon as possible. After that, he would have emperor-level combat strength and would no longer be an insignificant person. He would no longer need to be overly cautious. He could officially step onto the stage and compete with powerhouses from all sides. Chapter 1098, Global High Martial Arts. Sorry, the backstage is lagging. Please wait a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.